The glittering premiere at the Chicago Theater for Warner Brothers, I'll See You in My Dreams. A real dream has come true, for this benefit premiere launches a drive for a new hospital sponsored by the film star Danny Thomas, here arriving with his family. Years ago, Danny vowed he'd build a hospital if he ever became famous. $32,000 are subscribed, the first of 1 million Danny Thomas tells friends he'll raise for the St. Jude's Hospital of his dreams.
They said it couldn't be done. They said that it was a task which would break my heart. They said it was impossible. At this very moment, as I speak to you, in the city of Memphis, Tennessee, there is being constructed a hospital in the form of a star.
There it is, in concrete, glass, and steel, to offer help to all the children of the world, regardless of race, creed, or economic status.
You and I have vowed that we will do everything in our power, spiritually, physically, mentally, and financially, to bring about the defeat of these catastrophic diseases. We're going to begin with leukemia, and by God's grace, after defeating it, go on to other diseases. That little tiny building has led the world in advancements in pediatric science and clinical care, and now it's going to rise up. You will bring it to the fore through an organization called ALSAC.
If I were to die tomorrow, I now know why I was born.
While we're sitting here making this video, there's a family that's walking through the front doors on a Friday afternoon, and they're at St. Jude. When we came to St. Jude, I asked the doctor, "Can you treat my child?" And he said, "No, we're going to cure him."
All right, welcome on in, guys. Welcome on in to day 2 of the St. Jude VGC Charity Tournament. My name is Will, and I also go by I Will, and I will be your host for the day 2 Charity Tournament. And it's been a crazy weekend thus far, raising over $3,000, our original goal, shaving my beard, making me wear the Miltank cosplay. But that's not it. That's not all. We have more gameplay to go, more tourney to go. Pairings are live. Pairings are live. One moment. So what we're gonna do, trainers top 32 is gonna play first. Top 32 will play first. All right. So we're gonna get our top 32 to play a round, and then we're going to have top 16 immediately after. Top 16 should wait. All right, so let me tag trainers. Give me one moment, guys. And I'm going to go ahead and just unmute and welcome in our casters for top 32. We have our guys, Chef Rich and Talon Master J. Good morning, guys. How y'all doing, man?
Good morning. How are you?
Bro, I feel like I did not sleep. I'm gonna be real.
Man, what is sleep? What is sleep except the biggest myth that we have never been able to solve?
That is very, very true, honestly. And, you know, right now we're all here together, and now we are ready to go into our top 32. Let's see. Who are we going to pick? I wish I had, like, a wheel, and I could just be like...
So, we need to see who is streaming now.
I know, like, at least on some of the players that we have. I know we did to Wobblefett in top in Swiss rounds. I don't know if Bacon has their perspective. We could do technically Insane in top 32 against this Robbie person.
Okay, so Robbie, word on the street, is a amazing seniors player that's going to level up into the Masters division and wreck everything. So I would like to see Robbie, but I don't know if Robbie streams. Good morning, Wood. You gotta eat some peanut butter? You want me to eat some peanut butter so bad? I'm wishing I could have taken a longer nap. All right, good luck to my fellow day tours. Absolutely. For those who are watching the stream that are playing, if you're in top 32 and you would like to have your stream featured, let me know. We may just feature Big Mike, truthfully. It just gives, Bro, people might be asleep, bro. Big Mike DMing. Ain't nobody waking up.
Well, I know. Well, Mackie knows he has a bye, so he's not gonna be up for about. I think like 30 minutes.
Let me look at the bracket in the standings. Hold on, appearing.
Yeah, let's definitely look at the bracket. Let's look at the standings. We got a big day ahead of us, guys. It is day 2 of top 32. And of course, your commentators are going to be for this match. It's me, and I'm going to be with my boy, Mr. Talon Master J.
Exactly, and right now I'm going to do this myself just because I'm very curious about this, and then we can maybe have a little bit of... oh, dang it, I misspelled that. So we got that one, we've got this one, we've got...
Let's see.
Okay. So I know Big Mike is here. Let's see. He's waiting on his trainer. He's ready to go. He's like bobbing his head, bro.
That is very interesting.
Let's see.
I cannot wait to see these players bring the fire for top 32. Well, let's go over actually who we got. We got Azulite, who's going to be now advancing to the top 15 because of a bye. We got Robbie versus Technically Insane in the top 32. I think they're about to battle it out. Joe UX9 got a bye, so he will be advancing into the top 16 versus Lime. And then we have Scraw, who is also streaming on YouTube. He's actually streaming on YouTube, so we might be able to actually, whoever wins that, we might be able to stream either Scraw. Dark Pine and Big Mike are going to be battling in the top 32. Arcane advances from a bye. The Wobbuffet and Bacon 122 is about to battle in the top 32. Mackie got a bye. We'll see who his opponent is in the top 16. It's going to be between either Baldo or MDMA. Bree got a bye. Slushy2K will now be versing Bree in the top 16. The Master Classer got a bye, and he has to face either Heroic Titan or Ember. And Andrew got a bye, but he's got to find out what his opponent is going to be, either Knighted Squirrel or Porygon 2. So it's going to be a very insane top 32 because the winner gets to advance, and I don't really want to say what the loser gets to do, but that's what.
Well, in all fairness, the loser, they get to know that they were part of one of the biggest online tournaments in VGC history, and it's for a good cause more so than anything else. So we have to keep that in mind as well.
Exactly, and most importantly, it's gonna be a really amazing day, and it's for a good cause, guys. It's for St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, and we're raising money for them. We're raising money for the kids. We love the kids. We want to raise.
We definitely care about the kids.
So we got Technically Insane in here, and his match with Robbie just started. I'm assuming they're like already locked in. So he's gonna share his screen to his gameplay, and we're gonna get started into that top 32 match, which is AKA round 9 technically, but we're not gonna call it round 9.
This is technically.
Oh, they haven't even started. Oh, let's go.
All right. Well, guys, this is our technically round 9. It's going to be, who we got today? We got Technically Insane.
Yep, we got Technically Insane.
And Robbie.
And Robbie. And so we've got America versus the Netherlands. So this is like a... refresh my memory, guys. Where's Niels Dunlop from again?
I believe the Netherlands, or I believe... I forgot, actually. But
yeah, I don't know.
We'll get to that one in a few. But let's go over the teams, guys. We got Technically Insane using Shadow Rider Callie, Incineroar, Rapid Strike Urshifu, Clefairy, Tornadus, and Rillaboom. Now this is a very interesting team because we saw the Big Mackie use this team yesterday, and guess what? He had Sing on Clefairy, but this one has Copycat. Oh, very interesting on Clefairy. You can run anything on Clefairy nowadays, and it's going to be a very interesting matchup.
You're definitely right on that, and actually, if you guys saw it yesterday, Technically Insane, he was on Twitter talking about it. He was able to get a Copycat off on a Pelipper that went for Wide Guard next to a Calyrex Ice Rider. So the Calyrex went for Glacial Lance, and the Clefairy got to use Wide Guard.
Exactly. That was a very interesting game. But let's also go over Robbie from the Netherlands. It's going to be Koraidon team. Koraidon, Chi-Yu, Venusaur, Ursaluna, Porygon 2, and Raging Bull. Now, this team looks very, very, very scary. If I was insane, I would be nervous because, first of all,
you were insane. That's
if I was my opponent, technically insane, I'd be looking at this and I'd be like, it's Sun. But the thing is that you have Porygon 2 with Terra Ground, Terra Blast. You have Ursaluna with Substitute, and you also have Venusaur with Cobra Cloak.
And that's definitely something. You don't really see a Cobra Cloak on the Venusaur more so than anything else. But guys, we're about to get into game number 1 here between Technically Insane and Robbie. One of these trainers' dreams is gonna keep on continuing here, as we do see Robbie lead with the Chi-Yu and the Raging Bolt versus the Tornadus and the Calyrex Shadow Rider.
Very interesting lead right now. I mean, looking at the Raging Bull, it does have some options. It could go for Thunderclap, it could go for Thunderbolt, or it could just switch out and, you know, like save itself for later. But Chi-Yu have the Focus Sash with Overheat. But yeah, like, you know, look at this. Robbie has some options here, but I feel like there's going to be a Koraidon in the back, going to get himself ready for that switch in. But a Terra is going to come out, and it's going to be Terra Fairy onto that Calyrex Shadow Rider. And above all else, I wonder if he's going to go for Draining Kiss or Astral Barrage. But what did these other two mons, the Chi-Yu and the Raging Bolt, did? Rain Dance is going to come in, so expecting a Koraidon switch in. Very interesting. Nasty Plot onto the Calyrex is going to go on. I wonder what this Raging Bull decided to do. It went for Heat Wave, but that's not going to do anything because of the rain. And now
Volt Switch comes out on the... Volt Switch goes out, and it knocks out the Tornadus. So Tornadus is down. The rain can potentially go away, but more importantly, this Raging Bolt is able to switch out here and bring in something like that Koraidon, which would then negate the rain and bring the sun back out. What a play by Robbie with that Volt Switch here, trying to play around his Assault Vest with a Calyrex Shadow Rider, basically having free reign with super effective moves as that Chi-Yu with the Beads of Ruin sort of negating that Assault Vest here. But in comes the Porygon 2, and the download comes out, and it is an attack boost on the Porygon 2 and not a special attack boost like some Porygon 2s hope for.
Basically, like, now you see like a +2 Shadow Cali getting ready to go for some Astral Barrages or for some Draining Kiss because of that Terra Fairy boost. However, Tornadus is gone, no Tailwind is going to be set up, so I feel like Koraidon could come in here and set up the sun like nothing ever happened. And really, it's up to what's going to be going on here. But Draining Kiss onto the Chi-Yu, that's not enough for the knockout, not even to get it down to its sash.
And that was a nasty plot, Terra Fairy Draining Kiss too. As we see a Heat Wave come out from this Chi-Yu, it hits again. Clefairy goes
for the copycat!
And it's a Heat Wave in the rain, and look at how little damage that did. And that was a critical hit!
Oh! In all of my years playing this game, I've never seen a copycat Clefairy before, but that was monstrous. That did actually, I wouldn't say that did a lot of damage, but that critical hit, it was a little Clefairy that believed in itself and was able to get some damage. But it's going to go for the Protect, as we're going to see another copycat, but it is going to fail because of that Protect. Terra Blast for Porygon.
That's a normal type attack, and it's a physical. So here comes the Draining Kiss +2 from this Shadow Rider into the Porygon 2 with the Beads of Ruin. That did over 50% right off to this Porygon 2, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is what the Beads of Ruin helps out alongside this Calyrex Shadow Rider. Porygon 2 is a very bulky Pokemon with that Eviolite, but you add the +2 from the Nasty Plot, and you add in the Beads of Ruin, lowering special defense by 25%, and that's how much damage a Porygon 2 can take.
It's so interesting right now, as we're going to see Robbie withdraw that Porygon 2, try to save it for later, but Trick Room is still up. Koraidon is going to come in here, so guess what? The sun is coming up, and guess what? No rain. No rain at all. I wonder what this Chi is going to do. That Heat Wave is going to hit hard now. Copycat is going to go in. I wonder what it's going to be. Draining Kiss on the
Koraidon! Oh my god, the Koraidon takes the Draining Kiss, and now this Chi, it goes for the Overheat in the sun! And it's gone! And Shadow Rider is down!
Oh my, what did we just see? I'm not hallucinating when I just saw a copycat Draining Kiss go onto a Koraidon, and that did over 60% of damage. But now the one thing now is like, Calyrex is done, and you just have a copycat Clefairy and an Incineroar with 2 very low health, like Sun Mons. But the thing is, Trick Room is still up.
Trick Room is still up here, and with this Koraidon and Chi-Yu, they are basically set up, but the Chi-Yu is -2 special attack, so it won't be doing as much damage in the sun. Now, we do know Chi-Yu in the sun, it is a very powerful fish, but oh my god, that was incredible.
Oh my goodness, that was insane. Koraidon goes for the Protect, saying, I am not gonna have you knock me out with any move at all. As we're going to see the Follow Me going to go off. So no Copycat this turn. And what did Chi-Yu decide to do? We're going to see Incineroar going to go for the knockoff, but it's going to go into the Protect. But what did Chi-Yu decide to do? It's going to go for another Overheat. And is
-2 in the sun.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my.
Oh my.
That's Friend Guard Eviolite Clefairy. And
oh my god, that fish said, I am not here to play, as the Copycat is gonna go off. Overheat!
Into the Chi-Yu! And the fish is down! The fish is down!
That's enough for the knockout! That's enough for the knockout!
Oh my god, the fish!
Oh
and the knockoff coming out. This is a resistant knockoff, and it doesn't do much.
Yeah, that did not do anything. It was going to knock out the Clear Amulet. Collision Course is going to go ahead and finish off this Incineroar, and that's going to go down. That means that there's a Clefairy with... I wonder what would happen if you copycat Collision Course.
And also, the Twisted Dimensions return to normal, but this is a full support Clefairy left with the Raging Bolt, the Porygon 2, and the Koraidon still on the field, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, this Clefairy, it did so well up until right at the end. But that was an amazing first game between Robbie and Technically Insane, guys. Just showing again the power of rain versus sun. If you win the weather war, Koraidon team is really tough to beat, but that's what's important about this game number 2. What is Technically Insane gonna do to fix, or not so much fix, how is he going to adjust and adapt to how Robbie is playing?
Absolutely, and especially by looking at that match, that Clefairy was going at it, copycatting every single move it had. Overheat, Heat Wave, Draining Kiss, you saw that did so much, and the Beads of Ruin was still active, but my goodness, that was so much damage. That Clefairy said, I am here to play with the big boys. I'm not here to just do follow me. I'm here to go for any move that you do last turn. And Trick Room was set up, so honestly, Clefairy was able to almost run away with the game. However, it kind of slipped away from Technically Insane's favor a little bit because of the sun being set up and that Overheat knocking out the Calyrex. So I think Technically Insane has to think how can I adjust here? How can I really much get momentum in my favor here? I mean, it's about either bringing back Clefairy or bringing something else, but Tornadus has to stay alive because that Raging Bolt knocked it out.
And what's also important to note is that we do see that Technically Insane, he does have the Choice Scarf on that Urshifu, so essentially, if he brought the Urshifu into this battle, we saw Raging Bolt plus Chi-Yu. That Raging Bolt does have access to Thunderclap, and we've seen some Urshifus be trained enough to live a Thunderclap from full, but I don't think there's an Urshifu that can live a Thunderclap from full with the Beads of Ruin.
Unless you're like Assault Vest with 252 special defense, yeah, there's nothing. But like you said, Chi-Yu, Raging Bolt up against the Incineroar and the Calyrex Shadow. So kind of like a version of of game 1, but the thing is that Technically Insane adjusted and have the Incineroar out. But it could go either way. A Fake Out, a Nasty Plot, a Draining Kiss. You have the Beads of Ruin out on the field right now. That Draining Kiss could do a lot of damage because of the Beads of Ruin, but also Incineroar is just sitting there chilling. It could go for a parting shot, but I wonder what's going to be going on here in this game.
Exactly here, because we do see the Raging Bolt. It is the Assault Vest, so it would be taking some damage from this Calyrex Shadow Rider through the Beads of Ruin on that Chi-Yu. But the question is, how much would it be taking with the Assault Vest, plus Beads of Ruin, plus Calyrex Shadow Rider, plus Incineroar? Because there could be a Fake Out plus a Nasty Plot here, potentially, from this combination of the Chi-Yu and the Calyrex Shadow Rider. But we do see a Terrassalization come out on the side of Robbie. Robbie opts to activate his Terra Orb into this Chi-Yu, and it's a Terra Ghost Chi-Yu. A ghostly presence has come across this Chi-Yu, and it is trying to go for that, potentially calling a Fake Out from this Incineroar. Did it go Fake Out? It went over here on the Chi-Yu into the Calyrex Shadow Rider, which protects itself. What did this Incineroar go for? Okay, Raging Bull going for that Volt Switch here.
Oh my god!
A critical hit!
That's the first critical hit of the day. I'm writing it down. There's only one critical hit of the day. But oh my god, that did so much damage. I wonder it's gonna be Porygon 2 coming in.
It's gonna be Porygon 2 coming in here. So now it remains to be seen. What did this Incineroar go for? Porygon 2 getting another attack raise. A parting shot into the Chi-Yu. Lowering that Chi-Yu's attack and special attack by 1 stage. But more importantly, Incineroar gets to switch out here by virtue of that parting shot. And it remains to be seen what is gonna come in for the Incineroar here. And it looks to be that Clefairy is making an appearance once again.
Time to go for some copycats. I cannot wait to see this. But right now in the position, you have like Porygon that's like immune to Astral Barrage, and you have like Chi-Yu that now can be hit with the Astral Barrage for really good damage. However, you gotta also be careful of the fact that like it could set up Trick Room again, and your mons could be like really, really fast or really, really slow. But a Terra Fairy is gonna come out on that Cali Shadow Rider, probably gonna go for Draining Kiss or probably gonna go for the Astral Barrage, but it's honestly at +2 with the Beads of Ruin out. I wonder how much damage it's going to do. Another
nasty plot coming out on this Calyrex. It is powering up, and an Overheat comes out. It missed a Clefairy! It missed a Clefairy! And the copycat comes out on Clefairy. What did it go for? Overheat! The Porygon got both the Overheats missed. Oh my god! And the Trick Room!
Oh my god, yo, I'm like shaking right now in my boots. Yo, that's so insane. Oh my god. Yo, that is so...
Two Overheat misses. It's one thing if you
did not trust Overheat, run Flamethrower. That is a good move. Overheat will, like, 2 Overheat miss.
At this point, what's worse, Overheat or Heat Wave?
I think they're both worse. But the thing is that like if I wonder how much damage that would actually hit onto the Chi-Yu with that Overheat. But the thing is that like now Koraidon is gonna come in here and set up the Sun.
But what's more important here is that Koraidon is now in Trick Room here. Koraidon is a base 135 speed.
Oh, copycat! Another one!
Trick Room! Trick Room! Oh my god! Copycat Trick Room! The dimensions return to normal! And the Terra Fairy...
Where is it gonna go?
It's a Koraidon! Koraidon is down! Oh my god!
No way! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Terra Blast gonna go into the Clefairy. That's gonna do a little bit of damage, but wow! What a turn!
What a turn! What a turn! And in comes the Chi-Yu again. But this, it's +3. It's Terra Fairy.
Yo, and the Trick Room is over. Trick Room is no longer on the field.
Oh my goodness!
Woo! I think I'm sweating right now. Like I'm shaking. That was.
We see Incineroar come back out again on the field, lowering that attack and special attack. But more importantly, what did this Calyrex go for? It goes for a Protect here.
Oh, wow. Let's see the Protect gonna go over. It's gonna go
into the Protect once again.
As Terra Blast into the Porygon, gonna go ahead and not knock out the Incineroar.
That's good damage though. That's good damage though on Incineroar. That's good damage here.
That is definitely good damage. However, this Chi-Yu is still standing, and the thing is, it still has its Focus Sash. Oh,
it still has its Focus Sash here. Now we do know that Robbie still has that Raging Bolt in the back here, but more importantly, what will this Incineroar opt to go for here? Because again, this Chi-Yu, it's neutral in the sun right now, but it looks like Riley is trying to think long and hard about what he wants to do here, about potentially bringing out here, and we do see he is opting to re-switch out the Calyrex Shadow Rider and take away those buffs that it has, and in comes the Clefairy once again, and the
Overheat's gonna miss!
Overheat missed again!
And then the Clefairy! Knockoff is gonna go up in the Geo, that's gonna turn down the Focus Sash! Oh my goodness!
What is this
Oh my goodness! Terra Blast is gonna go into the Porygon, and it's gonna go ahead and do a lot of damage onto that onto the Clefairy. But the thing is now, like, Chi-Yu is about to go down. I think that is what technically Insane wanted, was Chi-Yu to be at very low health, so that way that the Calyrex Shadow can finish it off with an Astral Barrage or Draining Kiss.
And we see a Protect come out from the Clefairy here, trying to keep Clefairy alive for one more turn, and the Chi-Yu goes for the Heat Wave and finally clicks
it. Is it gonna miss?
Is it gonna miss?
Is it going to miss? It's gonna hit!
It hits!
It's going to hit!
And Incineroar goes down! And there's a Trick Room! And there's a Trick Room!
But guys, what comes next after Trick Room? Oh wow, just insanity is just, what? That is so, like, insane right now. Of, like, this Chi-Yu is still standing. Porygon 2 set up Trick Room, but the thing is that Copycat copies whatever the last Pokemon did, and guess what? It's gonna copycat that Trick Room and reverse it again. Oh wow! Like, I wonder what's gonna happen here, because there is a Raging Bolt in the back, and you gotta, and like technically Insane gotta be careful, because he needs to preserve that Calyrex for later game. I wonder what's gonna go on here. It's a toss up at best, but we're gonna see the Protect gonna go on.
Protect, get a failed Protect here. Chi-Yu protected, and that's important, because as you said, Rich, by going for the Copycat, it would have copied the last move used, and it would have been a Protect on that Chi-Yu.
It technically would have, but the thing is now you have to get rid of the Sun, as Porygon 2 is going to take a little chunk of damage from that Bleak Wind Storm. No speed drop, but the Sun does fade, so we were not even counting the Sun turns at this point. But however, if you look at it, it's so like mesmerizing to see that that the Copycat was able to do so much, as the Chi-Yu is going to switch out into that Raging Bolt. So I wonder what's going to happen. Oh my god, I wonder how much Copycat Ice Beam from that will do. Copycat is gonna go off. Wait, what are we gonna see?
Bleak! But look at that little damage there. Look at the little speed drop. A
Terra Blast gonna go into the Porygon. It's not enough to get the knockout.
And the Bleak Wind Storm comes out.
It's gonna miss the Raging Bolt.
What's important here is that this Tornadus does have Taunt. It has Taunt, and this Porygon 2 is close to where a Recover might be a potential move chosen by
my god, Copycat Recover. Oh, that would have been insane to see. But right now, like, it's so insane of what's gonna go on. Like, yeah, you have Taunt, but you also have a Raging Bolt right now on the field waiting. It's Assault Vest though, so that's the thing. It's not like gonna be that powerful yet, but that's gonna be
go for that. For that Protect there. There's the
Taunt's going off.
Porygon 2 is now taunted.
Did he go for the Recover? Are we going to see the Recover? It's going to go for the Ice Beam!
Okay, went Ice Beam into the Clefairy, trying to knock out Clefairy there. But what did this Raging Bolt for? Went for Thunderbolt into the Thunderbolt, and unfortunately Tornadus is going to go down here. Now it is this Calyrex Shadow Rider and the Clefairy. But even more importantly, the Calyrex Shadow is it's neutral, it's Terra Fairy. But I think there's only 1 or 2 more turns left to Trick Room.
Oh my god, right now, like, looking at this, like, Copycat is a good turn here, but also Raging Bolt's very threatened by a draining
Last turn of Trick Room!
Last turn of Trick Room. Oh my god, I see that. He's trying. He's trying to go for the double Protect. Oh, are we gonna, that is so insane right now of what's gonna be going on, trying to get that double Protect or try to actually switch out into the Mon, as Porygon 2 is gonna go for the switch out. And what are we going to see here? Also, the thing is that Raging Bolt does not have Protect. It has the Assault Vest item. Oh, wow. Are we going to see a double Protect? No double Protect. And I know that Calyrex for Nasty Plot. Bolt Switch is going to go ahead and get the knockout and the critical, but that didn't matter. It was already at low health. And what did Calyrex decide to do? I'll tell you what it decided to do. It decided to go and set up again with a Nasty Plot. But the switches right now, Porygon is still going to come in. That taunt is gone, but there is a there is a Chi-Yu still on the field.
And we saw how much damage a Porygon 2 was taken from +2 Terra Fairy Draining Kiss with the Beads of Ruin on the field here. So now it remains to be seen, what is this Porygon 2 going to do? Is it going to switch out here, or is the Chi-Yu potentially going to switch out here? Because again, +2 Draining Kiss, Terra Fairy, Beads of Ruin, I think it might knock it out here.
Oh my god, right now looking at but the thing is, Overheat. We've seen it miss 2 times. Let's see what happens right now.
We see the switch out here. The switch.
He was going to switch. Raging Bolt comes back in. And I wonder how much draining. This is going to be a Terra Fairy +2 Draining Kiss. It's going to go in.
Will it do enough? It doesn't do enough! It doesn't do enough! And the Trick Room!
Oh, the Trick Room comes in!
The Trick Room comes in! And the Trick Room has been activated! Now this Raging Bolt is essentially in harm's way. This Raging Bolt has Thunderbolt, Thunderclap, Volt Switch, a Terra Blast coming for this
First take this Terra Blast! It's gonna go in, not enough damage, but how much is this Thunderbolt gonna do? It's gonna do! Oh my god! Oh, it's gonna be...
Whoa, the paralysis! That's big for technically insane because of paralysis!
Oh my goodness! Is it gonna go for the knockout? Are we gonna see a Draining Kiss right now? Draining Kiss is gonna go.
We see the Terra Fairy on the Draining Kiss!
It's gonna go for it! It's gonna... No!
It's not enough! It's not enough! Oh, it's back to full health! Oh, this is major here!
Oh, my heart can't take much more of this.
This is insane right here. This Calyrex Shadow, I think with the paralysis, it might actually outspeed the Raging Bolt.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that is actually true. Looking at this, like Porygon 2 could actually outspeed, but Raging Bolt could be slower. Like, because when you're para, your speed is halved. So you're gonna be like the slowest thing on the field. Ice Beam is gonna go off into the slide. That's not gonna do much damage. As Thunderbolt is gonna go again into that. Oh my god!
Faster.
Draining Kiss is gonna go into the Porygon.
Oh my god! The Porygon 2. It is gonna faint finally. And this Porygon 2 is down, but it's just this Raging Bolt and Chi-Yu against the paralyzed Calyrex Shadow Rider in the Trick Room.
Right now, there is a theory or there is something that this Calyrex can survive a Thunderclap. I don't know. There is Beads of Ruin out in the field. Oh, there right now it is going to be a little bit tough right now. There is no way to restore your health. This is going to be very, very tough. There is 2 more turns of Trick Room, but you are very, very slow under the aesthetics right here. Oh wow, he's trying to think of going for that, but we're gonna see it. We're gonna see it. Thunderbolt.
Just Thunderbolt, and that's gonna do enough. Not even risking it from Robbie's side. Just going for the raw Thunderbolt, knocks out the Calyrex Shadow Rider, and ladies and gentlemen, Robbie has won this top 32 matchup, and he will be advancing to the top 16 to face our #1 seed and the only undefeated trainer in Swiss round, Azulite, in the top 16.
Oh my goodness! Oh, we gotta. All right, let's all sit down for. Let's all talk about that game for a second. There, we had Paras, we had Crit, we had a Copycat, we had Draining Kit. That was so much, but that was insane. I gotta give Technically Insane some props. He did an amazing job trying to like maneuver his way around. That's also the good point also for trainers. You don't have to run after you. You could run Copycat, and Copycat actually has done like so much for Technically Insane in that game. But Robbie was able to look at that matchup and be like, I could set up Trick Room because I can outspeed your Mons very easily, and you only have Copycat. You do not have After You. So that was a very, very, very interesting game right now. Oh, I'm still shaking now. I know it's morning, but it's like Oh, what a way to start day 2 of this tournament. It's so good.
Oh my god, that was an insane set between Technically Insane and Robbie. We saw the copycat. The copycat was working. Rich, the copycat was working.
Oh,
And then, of course, the Chi-Yu, it missed overheat. The Clefairy, it copycats overheat. It misses the overheat. The Chi-Yu goes for overheat again. It misses the overheat again.
How many misses? I think we saw like 4 overheat misses. 4. That's like, oh my god. And I'll say this to everyone. Whoever's been a victim of overheat and heat wave misses, I am sorry. That is the worst thing to actually realize, because if that is your end game of trying to hit a heat wave and it miss, that is very problematic. But also, like, that's a thing of also, like, you take the risk of running inaccurate moves. But honestly, like it was the biggest risk, because you saw the Clefairy go for overheat, it missed. The Chi-Yu went for overheat, it missed. You could see how the inaccurate moves, it basically turned into a stalemate. But it turned out that Robbie was able to actually get himself on top and actually maneuver his way for the win.
And of course, just having that Raging Bolt, we talked about it with Raging Bolt, having Volt Switch as a potential pivoting move, the amount of damage that Volt Switch was doing. And as you said with the Clefairy, even though it was low HP, the crit mattered. We know the crit mattered.
Oh my god. Will, we gotta ask you, what do you think of this? This was an insane...
Honestly, I'm not even gonna lie. Copycat was insane. When he copycatted that Trick Room that one turn to reverse the Trick Room, and I thought, like, when technically insane, gotta be technically insane, to run Copycat on his PP, right?
Screaming into our mics.
Bro,
yeah, we were screaming into the mics, and here's the thing. He told me about this because he's a local of mine. He goes to the Orlando locals. He's been really good at the Orlando locals, guys. So for him to tell, I mean, he told me to swear to secrecy, and I was like, your secret's safe with me. And, you know, we were talking about it, and he's getting these plays. Like I told you guys, he got a wide guard read in front of an Ice Rider Calyrex.
That is honestly very interesting.
So, we were trying to see if we can get Robbie, but we have Technically Insane in the voice chat. Technically Insane, if you want to unmute, bro, and talk about that set, man, like, honestly, insane set by you.
Oh my god. Robbie played super well. I feel like that endgame that I was playing was super winnable, but I think what I had to do was get the Draining Kiss onto the Bolt versus the, versus that, Porygon, because if I were able to maneuver around, because I could take another Ice Beam or a Terra Blast, but I don't think I was going to be able to take that boosted Thunderclap. But he played super well around his endgame, and you know, Koraidon is my least practiced matchup, so it's rough. But playing Copycat, my goal was 5-3. I could not be more happy with my performance.
Honestly,
you did an absolutely amazing.
Dude, you did incredible. Getting 6-2.
Technically, let me ask you a question. How did you feel when you saw Copycat Draining Kiss do a lot of damage onto a Koraidon?
I was actually doing the way that Copycat kind of works is that it's a 50-50 on the target. I was hoping to do that to break Sash on Chi-Yu, so I could only have to hit it once versus twice. So I was kind of gambling the whole time, saying I want to break Sash, but unfortunately my Clefairy kept slipping and hitting the wrong target. But getting Koraidon down to sub 40% with a Clefairy it's just so fun. I love this set.
Oh my god, we were screaming into the mic because we saw so many crazy play. We saw overheat miss, we saw crits. That was the most insane. You put on a great performance for all of us, but also for everyone. It was so crazy to see that Clefairy doing so much, and you saw like Calyrex was able to survive so much, and then the crit on the Incineroar with the Volt Switch, and Chi-Yu just sitting on the field. It was a lot for all of us, but it was so exciting. What a way to start off day 2. It was amazing.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Clefairy will live on. I don't think I'm ever running anything but Copycat again. That move is so much fun because it's the only way you get to run like 12 moves on your Clefairy. You get Wide Guard, you get Trick Room, you get, you know, like a little bit of damage.
You get an overheat that does like 3% to a Raging Bolt.
That's all we need. That's all you need, man. Of course, Riley, we got to ask you because we saw that play.
overheat on Chi-Yu. It misses. You use copycat. You get the overheat. You miss. And then on the next turn, Chi-Yu goes overheat again and it misses. What was your mindset when you saw that happen?
I personally really wanted that overheat to Robbie's overheat to hit, so it would be a lot more manageable, because if it were to hit, the position where he had my Calyrex pinned in Trick Room with the overheat, I would have been able to live that easy and get Berry and then win from there. So I think him missing overheat actually won him that set. I think that because Michael Ferry I think can take one, so I think that miss was like super impactful. And then it missing for me, it was going to hit the Porygon too, so it wasn't going to really do anything anyway, so my miss I was completely fine with. That was 3%, so, you know. But, yeah, that turn was crazy.
And in all fairness, 3% is better than 0%.
It's
but
true.
Unfortunately, the 0% happened because I want to know that math, Rich. I want to know that math. How can a overheat miss, then a copycat overheat misses, and then another overheat misses? That's got to be like what, less than a tenth of a percent?
It's 60. It's like a 61% chance to hit.
He got the number. He has the number. He knows off the top of his head.
I just ran the math. Yeah.
He does the math. But literally, like, but by looking at this game too, right? Robbie, he thought like he had he had like a really good position and a way of setting up the sun where you set up the rain, but when your Tornadus went down, it was like no more rain being set up and the sun come on in. So we were saying like how like to preserve like the Tornadus, but it was so like mesmerizing to see like that copycat under Trick Room. So you're able to like go first and reverse the Trick Room. That way that Calyrex could go for the Astral Barrage. And I was like, oh wow, like that Trick Room meant nothing. It did not mean anything. Porygon 2, that Porygon 2 was very, very like insanely strong.
Is really funny because me and Eden, who I believe played in day 1, we were labbing with P2, and I realized, oh my god, this is a horrible matchup for me. So, I ended up running into it, but it's fine. Robbie played so well, and I feel like this is the most mileage I've ever gotten out of a tour as big as this. And I just want to thank you all for hosting and having me.
No problem, man. No problem.
Honestly, dude, literally, congratulations on a top 32 finish, man. The sky's the limit, and as we know, guys, the season is starting up. Let's see, it's 11:41 a.m. at least in my time zone. So in less than 12 hours, the new season begins for Pokemon. We can do VGC locals.
And Talent, I don't know if you're hitting. We have a PC on, not a PC anymore, a league challenge or whatever they're called now on the 13th. I will be using this team there. I want you to know that.
Let's still call them PCs because literally that's what we're used to.
Yeah, it's a PC in our heart. It's a PC in our heart.
It's a PC in our heart. No longer a league. We are not trading card games. We are the video game. That's what makes us different. Oh,
and we're better too. And we're better.
Yeah, we are.
Well, I just want to say technically insane, thank you so much for the great set, bro. Honestly, you played your heart out, bro. Insane. I think people can actually respect Copycat Clefairy, and you told me you were cooking up something. I believed you, and I just didn't manage to think you was going to cook up a 5-star meal. Mwah, that was beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you for literally. Thank you.
Rich, would you say that that technically insane gets a Michelin star?
Oh my goodness. See, I always look for creativity in teams, and that was very, very creative. I give that chef's kiss, Michelin star. Now, I give you the Michelin star of a chef approval for your team. That is a great.
I guess you could call me the Iron Clef, which I appreciate.
I like that.
Oh, that's great. Also, guys, while we're almost ready for top 16, which we got a great set of casters for, but shocking development, guys. We are going to have a brand new champion.
Yeah, I was going to announce it. Big Mike OG lost game. Well, I don't know if he lost game 3. Well, yeah, I guess that's why he didn't. That's not why he's in top 16. But honestly, it was a shock. I'm making the top 16 graphic as we speak, and I'm looking at Big Mike.
Unfortunately, Big Mike did go down. So the thing is, now we have we're gonna probably either see we have Scraw in the top 16. We also have Joe UX9 and Azulite in the top 16 as well. So we got like a handful of new competitors ready to take that game. Big Mackie is going to be in the top 16 against Baldo VGC, Bree and Slushy, the Masterclasser Hero Titan Andrew, and Nighted Squirrel. It's going to be a really insane top 16. Everyone's going to be fighting for that top 8, top 4, and the final slot. Only time will tell, but guess what? It's for a good cause.
Exactly.
All right. I'm trying to make the top 16 graphic now, and honestly, guys, super excited to even have everyone that is in the top 16. Insane. This is just in crazy development, y'all. Crazy development. I'm gonna go tell the trainers the Discord that the top 16 can start. Someone literally started the match already, but guys, I want to say
I actually see. So Arcane is now moving on to the top 8.
What, already? Oh lord.
Yeah, he I just saw it, 2-0 Bacon. So now he's gonna be moving on into the top 8. Next time we should actually tell him to wait. But it's okay though, as long as they're checked in. But now, like, we got our first top 8 opponent, but now we got to see who else is going to be joining him in the top 8 as well. But you got your next fellow casters coming in, and yeah.
All right. Well, Chef Talon, thank you guys so much for casting that amazing first. What a way to kick off the game. You know,
what a way to start day 2.
What a way. You know,
what a way.
Everyone needs a little excitement in the mornings.
All right, well, thank you guys so much for being the casters for the first match. You guys set the standard. So now the next casters, they got to follow up, man. They got to follow up.
They got to.
They gotta.
All right, thank you guys. I'll see you guys.
Peace.
All right, so let me go ahead and we're going to get our next casters in. All right, so our next casters for top 16 is going to be Slim and Talon. I'm going to drag them on in here. Slim, Talon, good morning. How you guys doing, man?
Not bad. How are you? We gotten off to a fantastic start, and of course I heard the breaking news about Big Mike, so we're gonna have a new champ. So looking forward to see who gets crowned this year's champion.
Absolutely. I think it's, first of all, how many hats do you have, bro?
Oh, I got quite a bit. I've got I think like for every day of the week, so I can kind of rotate. So I used to do this all the time. So yeah, I got a couple in store. I think for today there's this one, and then I have one more. I have like 2 more I'm trying to decide from, but yeah, you know, just gotta fit the vibe. I got a purple shirt. I'm like, you know what? Get a little mischievous activity going on. I thought it fit well.
Good morning, Talon.
Help.
Hey.
Oh, hey, that's the best one
I have nearby me.
That's the best.
I don't
one.
mind this hat this year. The Roaring Moon one's pretty swag actually.
Yeah,
It is.
I'm actually
I've seen
sad I
some
didn't
hats.
get the Flutter Mane. The
Sounds
Flutter
pretty
Mane looked really nice.
All right, so again, guys,
Hello.
top 16. We got Big Mackie. That's going to be our feature match for top
Okay.
16. I'm super excited. Honestly, I got something, you know, I think Big Mackie has it. I don't know if I'm supposed to tell him that. I don't know if I'm supposed to be biased, but he might be our next St. Jude VGC Charity champion. Let's see how this match goes.
I mean, it's predictions that can be run. I don't know who else wants to put, you know, kind of, you know, your points talk. You can kind of wager a little bit here and there whether you think somebody's going to win or not. I mean, this is the perfect time, no? Ooh,
Honestly,
okay.
honestly,
the teams in the chat
I
are pretty spicy.
wager whoever wins with the capture card. We need the capture card.
You know what? That's a good point. That's fair. That's absolutely fair.
We have. I mean, Joe has his capture cards. Scraw does as well. He's streaming on YouTube, so we got a few capture card players still. Heroic Titan. I don't know if they're still
Wait
in.
a minute. Wait, am I looking at this team sheet correct? Oh, this is gonna be. Yeah. Legit.
Is there?
Oh, okay. I like this. Interesting. I think this is the first time I've ever seen this particular restricted get this far in any tournament. So, yeah, okay.
I would also like to
really
know, chat, I think you guys are all in for a treat. I think Slim and Talon as a cast duo, insane. This is going to be a treat, guys. You guys are in for a treat.
Man, you flatter us too much, man. You know, we just try to put on a good show. That's all. That's all. That's all.
All right, whenever...
For a wild one, I don't know anything about this matchup. This is crazy.
Yeah, this is... I'm trying to look and see where, like, okay, what's kind of like the thing that stands out. I mean, besides the obvious, but it's interesting. There's one thing I haven't seen on here that I have seen. I don't know if it was a ladder thing. I thought it was a meme, but I don't expect a scarf on this particular mod, but here we are. So it's going to be pretty interesting once everybody gets to see what we're talking about.
Yeah, are they hearing us right now? They know the teams.
I'm gonna deafen them so they can't. All right, I'm gonna deafen. But
yeah, that's what I've been like. Just
before I do that, Big Mackie, whenever you're ready to share your gameplay, you definitely can. All right, deafened. All right, they are deafened now.
Oh, this is even the Terra types are actually very interesting. Huh. Okay. One normal. That's normal. That's not.
I guess I think we are audible for the audience, so we might as well just tell them the team. So
yeah,
you want to just tell them?
Yeah. So the Big Mackie was on stream yesterday, using the Tornadus, Calyrex Shadow Rider, Urshifu Rapid Strike, Rillaboom, and Cinnabar Clefairy team that we're all very familiar with. Those 6 won the Los Angeles Regional Championships. Very similar to that composition outside of Sing on Clefairy over After You, which I think at the time of streaming, the Big Mackie was like 9 for 9.
Yeah.
By round 5. So...
When I streamed him, he was 10 for 13. It was great.
Heck yeah. And then do you want to talk about Baldo's team?
Yeah, I think Baldo's team is probably the most interesting one because we've all... If anybody played past generations when restrictors were around, there was always one that was kind of like a little bit of the cream of the crop, and it was Rayquaza. But unfortunately, this generation really hasn't kind of lived up to the hype or to its name and power and all that mystique, but it somehow got this far today. So we have a Rayquaza, a Scarf Landorus Incarnate, a Mungus, Entei, which we haven't seen in quite a while, Fluttermane, and Chien-Pao. So, I mean, the obvious is kind of the crazy thing to me. Not only is it just Rayquaza, but the fact that it's Scarf Lando Eye, which of course we haven't really seen. I've seen it as a meme, but have you seen Scarf Lando Eye before? Is this a thing that's pretty common, Talon?
I wouldn't say it's common. It had one big finish recently with the top 8 on Hobbit's top 8 team in the North American International Championships on a Kyogre variant, so a little bit more consistency on the Sandseer Storms, which this one is carrying as well, but with an absence of weather. But yeah, generally a very strong option against Miraidon, which Rayquaza doesn't love playing against. Sludge Bomb, this is a Terra Poison Landorus, so if you can force a Terastallization out from a Calyrex Shadow Rider, that's definitely very appreciated. And we have a Booster Energy, presumably Booster Energy Speed, Fluttermane, be able to potentially force those Terastallizations to Fairy from Calyrex Shadow Rider with the Shadow Ball, and then a Chien-Pao with both Sucker Punch and Throat Chop. And capping it all off, we have a very interesting NK set. Inner Focus, as well as Clear Amulet on Rayquaza, so Incineroar are going to be kind of interesting, but the Entei does actually carry Snarl on this one, so with the Assault Vest going to be tanking, not really tanking, but taking less than 50%, you would assume, from a Calyrex Shadow Rider and then hitting back with a Snarl. Mackie's Calyrex Shadow Rider, not Covert Cloak like some tend to run, a bit more offensive here with the spell tag, so yeah, going to be able to be affected by that Snarl and then forced to Terra, and then yeah, that Landorus Choice Scarf is going to be really interesting in this game, I think, with the option to just snipe that Calyrex Shadow Rider if you don't have Follow Me or Fake Out support on the field.
Yeah, absolutely. And then seems like Big Mackie finally got our feed, so it looks like we're ready to share. They are in team preview right now, so gonna be a pretty interesting matchup. So going into this, if you're from the side of Big Mackie, what are you trying to impose? I mean, besides your normal just, hey, if I set up, I get Clefairy next to me, then I'm kind of just chilling from there. But Baldo has quite a lot of damage output that can, between the Lando, the Rayquaza, and Amoonguss is kind of an annoying thing because being able to just put everything to sleep is kind of something I think that Big Mackie has to worry about, no?
Yeah, so there's a lot of things you have to consider here. I think if I'm from Mackey's perspective, I might be trying to get a nasty plot up, maybe set up Tornadus, Tailwind later in the game after I'm +2, so I don't really have to worry about that pesky Landorus Sludge Bomb with the Choice Scarf. But it looked like Mackey ended up going with a more basically just fake out follow me angle this game, leading the Incineroar, which is an interesting choice given the Intimidate is going to be completely ineffective against everything but the Chien-Pao on the team, but could be fearful of the Amoonguss' Spore like you mentioned, which could be kind of a pain. So yeah, going to be an interesting battle, just seeing what they lead. I think it can definitely swing things really rapidly. Like if you've counter-led the Incineroar here, you're in a huge advantage, but we do actually see the Chien-Pao and the Amoonguss, so Incineroar proving to be really effective here.
Yeah, just a common lead for a lot of Shadow Rider teams here. Always lead Incin or maybe a Tornadus or even Clefairy, but the Sword of Ruin is activated here and Fake Out is available. There's no really way of stopping that. The Chien-Pao does go to -1, and Calyrex Shadow Rider kind of sitting in a decent position. You could go for instantly, which I was going to refer to. You could just go for the Terra here. Nothing's really affecting you. And then you can potentially just go for Fake Out, Nasty Plot this turn. And then you have a couple options going into your next turn.
Yeah, and this is the Citrus Berry Amoonguss. Some of them have been running Covert Cloak, but this one will be affected by Fake Outs. We see the Terrestrialization come out from the Calyrex Shadow Rider, like you mentioned. Fearful of both the Throat Chop and the Sucker Punch, so trying to get away from that weakness. We do see Fake Out into the Amoonguss here.
Yeah, and Nasty Plot, of course, is the move of choice, so opting to go straight for just, I'm the biggest threat on the board, I'm going to try to make sure I get enough damage down. Throat Chop comes out, but unfortunately not very effective due to the Terra, and plus it is -1, so even less damage. Now you're in an interesting spot because you could potentially go for damage here. Amoonguss still threatening Spore, but I mean, honestly, with the Nasty Plot, you're kind of in a good position. You could potentially Parting Shot here, or even just go for some free damage with the Incineroar here.
So really limited switch-ins on that Amoonguss slot. We see it protect from the Chien-Pao. I want to comment on the fake-out damage into the Amoonguss. With the spell tag, it's kind of narrow if you'll always get the KO at +2 on the Amoonguss, but now with the fake-out damage, you'd really expect it to be taking a knockout. So you can kind of just like ignore that slot effectively, and yeah, like I said, just an easy knockout on the Amoonguss, and now a +3 boosted Calyrex with not a lot of damage being threatened into it right now.
Yeah, this is exactly what a lot of trainers really fear for, the snowball effect of any of these, of course, Ice Rider or Shadow Rider. And you're kind of in a bad spot. Amoonguss was the one thing that you kind of was hoping to just really... It was kind of like the thing that I can threaten no matter what you do. I can threaten a lot of damage. As you see Rayquaza come in, the shiny version of Airlock, but there is no weather, so it doesn't really matter here. But, I mean, honestly, Calyrex still in a fantastic position, has super effective moves against the Chien-Pao. Neutral versus... the Rayquaza with Astral Barrage if you choose to go for a spread, but honestly, Incineroar still not being threatened is kind of being a menace to just sitting around.
Yeah, the Incineroar not under a lot of pressure. There is no fighting move on the Chien-Pao, and yeah, although you do have the extreme speed that can now hit the Calyrex after it's gone out of its terrestrialization, at neutral, even with Sword of Ruin, not going to be doing that much damage. The Calyrex may be anticipating that, going for a Draining Kiss, knocking the Chien-Pao down to its Focus Sash and healing all the way back up to full.
Yeah, this I think has been just from the very beginning, the lead has just been fantastic. Not even able to do even close to half. Will-O-Wisp was the move of choice here, potentially trying to burn the Rayquaza but to protect. And honestly, once again, you're in a kind of a neutral state where you're not really being threatened. The Citrus Berry hasn't procced. I mean, well, doesn't really have it on this one. I forgot. This is a Shadow Tag variant, but you're just not getting a lot of damage output, and you are one of the fastest things here, so you kind of can just take your time. As we do see the Terra come out on the Rayquaza, trying to really just put a lot of pressure on with extreme speeds. Of course, the Sword of Ruin will help with damage output, but if you do call that and protect here, it's kind of a tough spot to be in, and that's exactly what happens. If this is a Will-O-Wisp, this is going to be a really rough spot for Baldo.
Yeah, and you can see the extreme speed going off into the protect, perfectly read by Maki. So in the previous turn, you maybe gained about 40 HP of ground on that Ice Spinner, but that could have been important for the extreme speed to take a knockout. But Maki saw this direction that his opponent was going for, and now gets the Will-O-Wisp on the Rayquaza and completely takes that option off the board. Really an excellent read and situational awareness of what his opponent was going for there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is one of those moments where I think Baldo needed to just really kind of, even though it's a dangerous situation, you had to kind of like put a lot of pressure on the Instant slot, but unfortunately wasn't able to. And now Instant and Calyrex is kind of just still, once again, from the very beginning of the game, sitting here at the lead. As we see an Extreme Speed come out, how much damage does it do? Not enough. And so this is just going to be a Drainicus, and it's going to go potentially back over half. And that does a lot more than I expected. So definitely not going to be able to pick up a KO here. Almost back to full HP. This Calyrex really has been a menace in the Instant here. And still, once again, back to way perfectly above 50%. Chen-Pao gets knocked out by the knockoff. And Rayquaza, unfortunately, there just hasn't been any room that Mackey's given to breathe, really, and Baldo's are kind of in a tough spot, and I don't know really what you do. Of course, now you're more leaning towards going into game 2. What's your plan? Because this has been very impressive.
Yeah, I think just on Pokemon you've brought, you've really struggled to damage both the Calyrex, but not only that, also the Incineroar. There's been no super effective moves. You didn't bring the Landorus, you didn't bring the Entei, both having ground-type moves that can knock out the Incineroar, as well as options into the Calyrex Shadow. I really question leaving those two on the bench. I think those could be really important tools in this matchup, and then you see what happens when you don't. You're just unable to knock out the Incineroar. You can maybe start pressuring the Calyrex, but never really being able to threaten both. And yeah, you see the Flutter Mane come out, once again not threatening a ton of damage, but this Calyrex is just going to be really hard to deal with, and we see Mackie just going for a Protect on it, understanding how important it is and preserving it even further in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. As we do see a nice Protect from both of the previous Ghost type. Dragon Ascent will go into the Incineroar, but unfortunately won't do a lot of damage here. But respectable nonetheless. But you do take a defense drop here, but you are going to go down to the burn. So even though you didn't get the parting shot on the Flutter Mane, honestly, there's a lot of Pokemon that can potentially do 3v1s. Flutter Mane is not one of those. So knockoff, of course, won't do a lot of damage just because the booster was used, but still, it is super effective damage from an Instant that is just unintimidated, just neutral damage. And honestly, Baldo has to go really back to, I think, potentially bringing something that does threaten the Instant. And I think Instant, as much as Calyrex took all the necessary KOs, Instant did a little bit too much. So I definitely agree with you as we do see the forfeit, and we're going to go right into game 2, and a really tough game 1 there.
Yeah, really difficult to crack the defense of the Incineroar while also dealing with the oppressive offense of the Calyrex. I do think we almost have to see some sort of adjustment to the Landorus or the Entei. You need something that can at least either sit in front of the Calyrex in the form of the Assault Vest Entei, or something that can outspeed and knock it out with the Sludge Bomb after the Terastallization, with the Landorus Incarnate form. I think leaving those two on the bench just means you're going to be easy prey for the Incineroar once again.
Yeah, absolutely. I do think I agree. I think Entei is probably because this is just not the cloak version spell tag and you're trying to set up. I think Snarl is really, really effective here. I mean, you can't get faked out. So honestly, I think that's a pretty good lead. Everything else, I mean, the Instant can't really do anything to Entei. So I think Entei and Chen-Pao or Entei, Rayquaza does pretty well here. And Amoonguss, I think, is always just a really good bring just because you can threaten sleep. I mean, I don't think Rilla wants to come to a matchup like this. So looking forward to see what comes in this game too, is Mackey's already kind of locked in, really understood if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I can bring the same 4 until you prove to me that you can beat it. Why would I change up?
Yeah, I do think it was kind of a courageous call by Mackey. Like, it seems obvious, okay, whatever, Incinerex, Calyrex, easy lead, easy life, but when you see Entei, you see the Swords Dance Clear Amulet, Rayquaza, you'd almost be tempted not to. You really only have the Intimidate active against the Chen-Pao, the Safety Goggles only active against the Amoonguss. But catching both of those on lead was just such a good call. So for Baldo, you know, understand, all right, yeah, I got that game 1. Let's adjust in this game 2.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see how this goes. I mean, I was hoping to see Lando, but Lando doesn't really do anything with the Scarf. You're just like, you don't want to click Sands here. You don't want to be scarfed in Earth Power, so it just makes sense. But I do think Flutter Mane is one of those things where I'm surprised it was in the back for Baldo, because I don't think, if you just look at the team composition, I don't think it really does much here. Shadow Rider is normally never going to stay in Ghost form, so it's going to Terra, so I don't think it really does well unless you were bringing it for speed control, as we look into getting into these leads here for this game 2. So, will it be the same defensive lead? Let's find out. And it is the Entei being in the lead. And Orlando actually does show up versus, of course, the defensive lead. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's Instant and Calyrex. surprised to see Lando here. Not surprised to see Entei at all.
So like we were expecting, a much more proactive lead from Baldo here, leading the Choice Scarf, Landorus Incarnate, threatening the Incineroar with a knockout for Earth Power, as well as Sludge Bomb after the Calyrex has gone for the Terastallization, and Snarl from Entei to force that. You can't even fake out the Entei, so you really do have a fairly free Snarl, or if you read a Protect, potentially a Stomping Tantrum to chip down this Incineroar. I really do like the adjustment from Baldo here.
Yeah, we see the Lando's opting to switch back out and just bring in the Amoonguss, which of course we did think was a really, really good bring here. And of course the Terra is going to come out turn 1. This potentially is going to be into that Terra Fairy, and it is Love is in the Air. The question is, what is the move of choice? Do you opt to just go for the Nasty Plot, even though the Entei does have Snarl? Amoonguss now threatening Spores, so you're kind of in an interesting spot. Fake Out does go into what was the Lando slot. Amoonguss taking a little bit of chip and just opting for an Astral Barrage, being on the offensive, opting, you know what, it's not going to help me if I decide to just Nasty Plot here. Snarl does come out, does hit, doesn't do super effective damage, but crit on Incineroar doesn't really matter too much. The important part, now Calyrex -1, even though Amoonguss did swap in on quite a bit of damage there.
Yep, so, oh my goodness, interesting play we're going to see from Mackie here. So I do want to comment, thankfully the Entei is trained to survive the Spell Tag Astral Barrage, very important there. For, you know, if it switches out later in the game, you can still get that. You wouldn't be able to get that Astral Barrage KO. But we do have the Amoonguss. It's kind of threatening. I'm actually kind of interested in the Self-Will-O-Wisp play, because I feel like an Astral Barrage knockoff would knock that Pokemon out anyways, but I digress. We do see, we saw Mackie's play, no need to pretend we didn't. Will-O-Wisp into the Calyrex trying to dodge a Spore here, and we see just the Calyrex going for Astral Barrage.
Yeah, trying to see if potentially pick up. Oh, it doesn't pick up a KO even. So another Snarl comes out, but this is an interesting spot. I thought maybe a Protect will come out for the Amoonguss. Another crit on Calyrex doesn't really matter too much. It is now -2. Now the question is, if this is just the Will-O-Wisp, like we said, if it lands.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you know what? I didn't even catch that. Immaculate play there by Mackie, opting, you know what? I don't want to get put to sleep. Your Amoonguss is going to be nullified. But the one saving grace about all this, your Amoonguss is still alive, so you can swap it out and bring it back later. So a little bit of kind of a neutral play, but all in all, both trainers I think should be happy about that turn.
Yeah, I think I'm a little happier if I'm Mackie at this point. Although I am -2 on my Calyrex, there's not a whole lot threatening me or just stopping me from switching out the Calyrex and coming in later in the game with an immunity to the Amoonguss. I do think it's a little curious to go for the Will-O-Wisp instead of just the straight up knockoff in the Amoonguss, but we see an Extreme Speed coming to the Calyrex, chipping everything down, so not preserving either the Amoonguss or the Entei. We're going to see a, probably not a double knockout here, but we see the Amoonguss go down for sure.
Yeah, kind of interesting play there. Wasn't expecting Amoonguss to at least try to go for a Protect even or something like that, or maybe even switch into Chien-Pao if it's in the back. But we do see the Parting Shot going to Entei, and honestly, not what I was really expecting, but all in all, for Mackie, you're happy. You got a KO. Amoonguss is no longer around. It can't switch back in and have to worry about it later. Clef is the Pokemon of choice. Even though you are -2, you kind of can just keep spamming damage, and there's no way to really get rid of the Shadow Rider, even though the burn ticks are slowly just starting to whittle away at you. And honestly, I guess for what it's worth, not a good, pretty good turn for Mackie. Baldo, I don't know if you necessarily wanted Amoonguss to go down that freely.
I think I sort of understand what you're going for there. You are maybe just going for a free switch. You don't want to take any damage on your Pokemon, maybe lose a Focus Sash on Chien-Pao, or more importantly, maybe risk a crit on your Rayquaza in the back, which I think is actually, if you have it, pretty well situated against a very passive board. A -1 Calyrex, still going to be doing a lot of damage, but Clefairy only offering a helping hand if it copycats. Well, I guess this isn't the copycat one, it is threatening Sing, so...
Could not imagine.
Yeah. If you roll well on the Sing, you definitely could get a Swords Dance up and potentially reverse sweep here, but speaking on the Extreme Speed, I think that was kind of interesting. You did leave a little bit of damage on the table, not going for Sacred Fire. Seeing that the Entei did live.
Yeah.
But we do see this Rayquaza popping the Terastallization, trying to stay safe from these -1 Astral Barrages. But we did see the Calyrex Protect. It's going to be an interesting turn. Definitely going to swing the battle a huge direction in either favor, depending on the result of this turn.
Now, the question is, we did see Sacred Fire go into that slot, so opting for damage here, this potentially could be a Sing, as we do see the Sword Stance go up. This is a huge turn, just like you said. I mean, if the Sing lands, all from downtown, Steph Curry with the shot, there's 10 for 3, 10 for 13 last time we were here, 1 for 1 today. I mean, these are the dead turns that are just actually amazing with a tech like Sing. Because a lot of turns you just need to just do something, even though you have a passive board, and Sing just kind of the great equalizer.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't call this over, but that's definitely a really bad turn for Baldo. Getting aggressive, saying, okay, if you don't Sing, I'm in an amazing position. If you do, I still have like a 45% chance to come out pretty big this turn. Gets the wrong side of that coin flip and now has to burn some sleep turns on this Rayquaza. Definitely very aggressive. I think that based on the Sacred Fire damage, you maybe could have gotten a knockout with the Dragon's Ascent, but yeah, just went for the aggression there, chipping down the Calyrex a little bit further, and we're going to see the Rayquaza take its first turn of sleep, going for an extreme speed, it looked like, and the Calyrex going for the Astral Barrage.
Yeah, we're going to pick up another KO here, so slowly but surely you're just going to get back all the minus stages, kind of with the Grimnade boost. Going to slowly, I think the Amoonguss was picked up at Astral Barrage, so it should have been -1, and this one now should be neutral. So even though the Snarls came in handy at first, you kind of worked your way back, even though you don't have as much health. So not an all in all a bad turn here. Baldo in a pretty interesting position. Of course, we do know this is Scarf, so now you have to kind of pick. You have to fake out the correct target. If Rayquaza wakes up this turn and goes for extreme speed, then this game kind of shifts. But if not, then you potentially pick up another knockout here with Astral Barrage. So a key turn of sleeps here.
Yep, we see the fake out come out. Rayquaza does stay fast asleep. I think the Calyrex is at neutral, but with Spell Tag, I'd be really curious to see if this knocks out the Landorus. Going to be a pretty big turn. Pretty big damage roll, rather. Depending on if it does or does not. We see the damage come out, and it does not.
Stays alive here. So this is an interesting turn now, because I think you have to lock yourself into Sense here, maybe? Or even Earth Power, because you just don't know. You know Clef is in the back, you know Instant is here, you don't know what the other Pokemon is. But I mean, either way, you just have to pick something and KO it, because Rayquaza, as long as you wake up, you can, I think, sweep the rest of this team. I don't think there's anything that potentially is in the back that threatens Rayquaza too much right now. So I think you're kind of in a good spot if you're Baldo.
Yeah, I myself am getting an ad.
Yes. Shout out to ads. We gotta pay bills. So we will never know. We will never know.
So that's an interesting position for a number of reasons. I think if the Rayquaza wakes up and gets the extreme speed off, that's always getting the Calyrex, and then you Earth Power KO the Incineroar. But if you want to chance it and just like try, yeah, we do actually see it there in the corner, very small. The Landorus got knocked out, so I have to imagine there was no wake up there. Pretty unfortunate. So that also means, I think, where did the Earth Power go? Did it go into the Incineroar? Maybe it went for another move. Maybe it went for Sandsear and missed. Hard to say.
Potentially, because definitely if anything were to hit, something would be KO'd here. But maybe, I mean, Instant did look like it took a little bit of damage, so maybe
we read a Sludge Bomb.
I think there was a Sludge Bomb read where it's that would be pretty unfortunate, but I think that's what it was. Even though I think the safer play was always just go for Earth Power, stab. Like nothing really wants to take it. Even if Clefairy comes in, it's not gonna like that amount of damage here. As we do see the Draining Kiss go into the Rayquaza on the side here, not able to pick up. But at this point, Clef is in the back. You can just bring it in, and with the health recovery you just got, you can just kind of spam Draining Kiss until you bring the victory home here.
Yeah, I think the Sing turn, of course, the most critical of the battle. If that doesn't hit, you just go off with the Rayquaza. You're able to extreme speed before the Follow Me's, and really the only threat to you at that point is this Focus Sash Urshifu, which is definitely an issue for you to clear out, especially with Clefairy being able to redirect partners' attacks. But yeah, with the maximum turn sleep, it looked like just really difficult to claw your way back out from. But you know, props to Mackie for figuring out that was his best play in that instance, executing and rolling high.
Yeah, absolutely. And great, fantastic match. And the fact that we got to see Rayquaza in some capacity is really cool, because the variety of Pokemon is always what you want to see. If somebody can make something work, and being able to get to top 16 with this, absolutely amazing. Shadow Rider, I mean, listen, this is what Shadow Rider does. This is not anything new. it's kind of how the ball game goes. It just depends on how you play with it. It can take you as far as you go. And really well done by Mackie there, moving on to top 8. So looking forward to seeing what else is in top 8. I wouldn't be surprised if there's definitely some other Shadow Riders. I think one of the stories of the tournament so far has been the Clefs. The last game we saw Clef with Copycat, which was fun to watch, got eliminated, but this time we got to see Sing Clefairy moving on, so the concert continues. So what else are you looking forward to that we potentially could see here besides more Shadow Riders? I'm pretty sure maybe a Calyrex in there or two, you know?
Yeah, I know there's a lot of Calyrex in the bracket, but I know Joe UX9 has been going pretty deep. I don't know if he's still in the tournament. I think he did make top 16.
He's still in the tournament. I think he's in game 2. I'm not sure if he's winning.
The Groudon team. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bringing good old Venu. We haven't seen that in a while.
I can share that game real quick.
Azulite also went 9-0 with Ursaluna, Lunala, Tailwind. With I think that's the Grass Ogerpon as well. Yeah. So definitely have a lot of interesting teams, and we do see Joe's game has been shared.
Joe's gaming right now, continuing. Like, just to preface this with everybody, Azulite maybe 9-0 or 10-0, but the fact that Joe at 4 a.m. signed up for the tournament, was late to round 1, and has not lost since, it just, hey, I gotta give him props for that. Has not lost since because he was late. So Joe likes to do the whole chip on my shoulder, and it helps him lock in. But honestly, it's amazing to watch firsthand, just like him being able to like just not drop a set and keep gaming with a team that nobody's really run. Groudon, we've only seen it maybe a few times during this entire format. You know, it's not as strong as previous formats, and Venu coming in and being amazing, and just, you know, hitting some sleep powders here and there.
Joe winning that set, he's meeting Azulite top 8, man. That's insane.
Basically the 2 undefeateds. Yeah. That's going to be a ball. So whoever gets to commentate that, congratulations. That's going to be a fun one.
Technically,
and of course, since we have feed for that, it's going to be great.
Technically, Joe did lose one game yesterday, but outside of the one he was late, he did lose a set. I want to say it was round 7 or 8, but he lost 8 games.
Okay. Cool.
I think that's worse for the narrative.
Yeah, I know. You could have kept it. Bro.
I just wanted the integrity, man.
You gotta create storylines, bro.
No, yeah. Give props to the person who beat Joe. For sure.
True.
Definitely joking around, but yeah.
Meanwhile, Robbie and Azulite is actually in game 3. Everyone else is in top 8. Man, I wish there was a way we could stream that, but unfortunately, I don't think neither one has a capture card, so that is going to.
Because I know Azulite definitely has one, but like he left it at his school apartment, so it's like, bro, you have to take your capture card wherever you go, trainers. You never know when you need a battle to be streamed. Take it wherever you go. What if you lock eyes at Walmart? Don't you want it to stream? Come on.
I think there's 3 stream matches potentially still. Mackie, of course, in top 8. Scraw, I think Scraw and Arcane.
Scraw's going to be our next top 8.
Yep.
Perfect.
If you guys are looking forward to that, definitely donate to this stream. Shoutouts to Will for putting on an incredible production. I've been watching a little bit here and there, and it's just been like really astounding for a stream like this to be put on and to be putting so much money towards such a great cause. So if you guys want to support that, please donate. St. Jude's definitely a very cool cause I didn't know a lot about coming into this tournament, but with the support for the kids that this and other fundraising efforts raise is just like incredible.
Absolutely. We're always a community that gives, and we shine when it's needed the most. So this is one of those times where I think we can do that. And the fact that we've almost reached 4K, I think really goes to show like how everybody's kind of come together for a great cause. So if we could push it to 4K, we will. But either way, even people who didn't donate, the fact that you're here supporting is more than enough, because it gets more eyes on the charity, gets more eyes on this event that Will puts on. This is the 2nd year, so looking forward to even more coming from Will and St. Jude's for next year. So it's going to get bigger and better every year, so it's been fantastic, and just happy to be a part of it. Will, appreciate you.
Absolutely, and I'll say, you guys, I have aspirations because if you guys even look at the St. Jude campus, man, it's beautiful, but there is a place called the Domino Center where it can host like a local, man. I want to work with the Play Live team and hosting an in-person tournament and call it a St. Jude Invitational, inviting at least 100 of the best trainers in the country. Not even the best, but just inviting people to come play, and then even make it a weekend thing, like Friday we volunteer support children. You know, I would love to have that happen over time. But you know, right now we're taking it a day at a time. We're doing you know, the things like this tournament. We're raising money. $3,700 for the kids is amazing. But I do believe we do have Big Mackie. They are undeafened, and we just wanted to quickly chat about that match, man. Unreal match.
No problem.
Mackie, bro, you're gaming right now.
Yeah, we gaming right now.
I haven't seen that. Like you don't normally see everybody clicking moves that fast unless you're watching Joe, but you were just locked in and just knowing exactly step by step what you wanted to do. So walk us through the game plan when you saw the team sheet, what you wanted to like execute during that match.
So basically, before I start a game, I'll have an idea of like what they should bring. Well, I think they should bring into my team. Mm-hmm. When I saw this team, I was like, well, there's no IC1 Flutter, that makes it easier, but there is Prio Spam. And basically, I wanted to hold on to my Terra as long as possible, but my opponent was able to, like, basically make me have to basically force it out. So I was like, well, that sucks.
Yeah.
I'm surprised, I was always surprised that they brought Amoonguss. That's just me, though. Because I'm like, I don't think Amoonguss, if you're using Prio Spam into my team, is that good. Because, as you can see, both games, it was mostly useless. Like, yes, it just protected, or just try to get a spore off, but it failed. So it wasn't really worth. But I feel like he should have brought Chimpao, Ray, Entei, and probably Flutter. But that four could just lose to CSR. But I don't know how their plan is. But besides having to worry about damage rolls, and I was really scared of the E-Speed plus Sucker Punch killing in game 1. So I was like, please hit this Willow or I'm forced to switch out.
This is true. I mean, that's something you always got to worry about. But yeah, the game 2, I think we all just kind of figured like, yeah, Ensign, like CSR really just kind of showed out and took over that game 1. So I wasn't surprised to see the Entei there and the Snarls. And I think you played it well by just opting like, you know what, I'm not going to set up here. I'm going to just like keep spamming as much damage, chip away at everything with the CSR, and it kind of worked out perfectly in your favor.
Yeah, I agree. Because I'm surprised he never went for Sacred Fire. That's my thing. Which is, I guess he wants to try to put it to sleep, which is understandable, but ESP wasn't going to do that much.
Yeah. I think Talon alluded to that a couple times where there was a time we were just like, damage-wise, I think, you know, Sacred Fire would be better here. So, yeah, Talon definitely agreed with you on that point.
Yeah, I agree.
We got caught with an ad near the end of game 2. Could you... we sort of missed what happened on the turn that... basically, the Landorus, whatever it locked into, we saw the Calyrex Shadow didn't go down, and neither the Incineroar.
Okay, so...
walk us through that turn?
So, and it was... Lando and Ray. Rayquaza was slept again for turn. Was on his third turn to sleep. Landorus went for Sludge Bomb at Instant, did a KO, assuming Clefairy switch, which I was like, if he Sand Sears, I don't think is gonna kill Instant. So I was like, I could just knock off and just pray that I get a third turn of sleep.
Yeah,
which it happened, but I was just able to Draining Kiss and so was able to live and knock out the Ray.
Yeah, so you're right. So there was a Sludge Bomb read.
Mm-hmm.
To some extent, I think it would have been really interesting if the Ray had woken up, because it would have been like a more difficult position. Obviously, you don't just win outright anymore, but I think it would have been a very interesting endgame with the Focus Sash, Urshifu plus the Clefairy. I think it would have been a lot of calls would have had to go on there. So a little disappointed we didn't get to see that, just because we were playing pretty hot all game. I would have loved to see you play through that endgame, but yeah, definitely just put yourself in the right situation with Sing and rolled decently high and didn't even have to reach into the bag of tricks at the end of that game.
I will say I was surprised that when he had a Rayquaza and I believe it was when he went for Swords Dance, I was like, he doesn't want to just straight up kill the Calyrex. I was like, that's surprising to me, but I was just able to reposition. And in that end game, if he did wake up, both my mons die. But then it goes to the point where it's like, okay, I don't have Aqua Jet, but if I did have Aqua Jet, that end game would all come down to if I had another Sing or not. Because it would basically be E-Speed, Urshi, or Dragon. Because if you Dragon Sense the Clef, he just loses on the spot. Because CC would just kill.
Yeah.
So he has the E-Speed, or he has the E-Speed, which is, I'm pretty sure Clef will be able to live at his HP. Actually, no, because it is +2. So Clef would go down, but I'm still winning. He would have the E-Speed, the Urshi, but I'm also gonna oh my god, sorry. So if I had Aqua Jet, it would just be a winning in-game for me. If I don't, then it's like, okay, so I gotta follow me, but he just has E-Speed into the Clef, and then just Sludge Bomb, because I'm not gonna outspeed Lando, so it's just a losing in-game.
Ooh, wait a minute.
It would just be a
Will, I saw you have the bracket, Will. Can we mind showing us a look and see what we got?
Yes. I was waiting for y'all to finish, and just let y'all the transition that we do have top 8 now.
Trying to see who Mackey's gonna face next. That's what
Mackey is facing Slushy 2K. I'm not sure who they are, but they've been slushing through.
Yeah, Slushy 2K we've seen on stream. I forgot which event. If he's one of the last two events. It was, I think it was LA.
Top 4 at LA with Station. Pretty much this team.
Yep, there we go. It was that one. So yeah, that's why I remember that from. So I was like, I know I've heard that name before. Okay, so it's gonna be interesting. And so wait, are we gonna get it to see that match, or do you have somebody else lined up?
I have someone else signed up. Unfortunately, I have Scrawl and Arcane VGC for top 8 with Nino and WD. But I do want to say, Big Mackie, truly appreciate you, man. You are gaming, bro. You are really doing your thing, especially with those things, bro. You could be an NBA player with them stat lines, bro. you ain't missed not one thing for real.
Every time I've been on stream, I hadn't missed one, so give you props for that.
But we're gonna go ahead and transition into our top 8. Talon, Slim, thank you guys so much for being great casters. Mackie, good luck in the rest of your games. We are going to go ahead and transition into now our top 8 match, and we're gonna get WD, we're gonna get Nino in, and we're gonna go ahead and start top 8, bringing in Nino, bringing in WD as our casters for this match. And guys, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Doing good, guys. We got top 8 on the line, trying to get to top 4. A lot of mistakes right here.
Let's get it done. Who we getting? Who you giving us?
We getting Scrawl.
Scrawl and Arcane.
Oh, we are?
I listen, you said, hey, feature them, bet, say less. I got them. What you snacking on, WD?
Yo, funny thing, I didn't sleep last night, so I'm on 24, 25 right now.
No, brother.
So yeah, I don't know, I just wasn't tired, so I was like, it was like 6 in the morning. I'm like, do I go to sleep or do I miss the tournament? Nah, I'll just stay awake.
What a gamer.
So yeah, we're here, dude. But I'm having a Cliff Bar, man, because I was hungry.
Heard. I haven't eaten anything, so I envy you. But no, I'm just joking. I did snack a little bit. I had some leftovers pasta last night, and I snacked that for breakfast. But yeah,
it's always good, man. Leftover breakfast is always top tier.
You know, right? Nino, did you have a good breakfast this morning? What'd you snack on?
This coffee so far. Let's get it.
All right, we got Scrawl in the building. Scrawl, thank you for letting us cast your match, man. Really means a lot.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Welcome, Scrawl.
And also, congrats on making top 8, man. Big job.
Thank you. Would you guys rather have me share screen in here, or do you just want to stream my stream on YouTube, which is better for you guys?
If you could share your screen in Discord, that would be fantastic.
That should not be a problem. How does that look?
Let's get it. That's perfect, brother. Oh my lord, that's great. That's greatness.
All right, so I guess I'll just deafen and then I'll get started.
Deafen up for sure. If you can, if you can put your, you know what? I'll put your PokePaste in here. Don't even worry about it.
All right, awesome.
All right, so that way the casters. No, thank you. I'll put it in here so the casters can have it. This is Arcane's, or this is Scrawl's, and right here, this is Arcane's team sheet. All right. Oh, they're both playing Ice Rider. This is Ice Rider mirror, guys.
So I want to deafen now.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Absolutely, man. You want Ice Rider Showdown, man? I don't think we've seen one of these yet the entire tournament. This is gonna be. I love a good matchup between two. Just like, man, it's a powerhouse, and it's gonna be really down to like who navigates the team better. And I always love those matches, man.
I will say honestly, this just confirms that there's a Ice Rider in top 4, so I'm excited.
That does mean it, yeah. Well, one of them is moving forward, but only one will make it.
All right, let me DM them and let them know they can start whenever they're ready. Go to pairings, scroll. Okay. All right.
So these are pretty cool. I like these two teams because they're definitely Calyrex Ice Rider teams, but they are built really differently. To be honest, you know, they've got one with the Blood Moon kind of Smeargle, Farigiraf, kind of a pretty like what you would kind of expect out of a Trick Room kind of a team. But then you've got the other Calyrex who's like we've seen more of that kind of balancy kind of stuff where you don't necessarily have to go full Trick Room, but now you've got like the Rain with the Calyrex Ice. And so, yeah, as much as this is the exact same restricted, their teams couldn't be any different, and it should be a good one, man.
Yes, super excited as we transition into the top 8 matchup. They are in screen selection right now, guys, and I'm gonna go ahead and get this match on screen for you guys. Again, for those who are in chat watching, thank you so much for supporting St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, where your support really helps ensure that families never receive a bill for treatment, travel, housing, or food. It goes truly a long way.
That's so awesome that you're almost at 4,000, man. Did you ever think? Did you think we were gonna hit that much? Did you realize? Like, do you think we were gonna get there? Because I mean, we're almost there, dude. That's crazy.
I'm gonna be real. When I did this, I just wanted to raise money for St. Jude, and whatever happened, happened. But never imagined us being at 37K. I figured we would hit 3,000, but 37, insane.
That extra 700 is crazy because, like I said, man, you're almost at 4,000. I bet you by the end of this tournament, we'll get you at 4K. We're close.
Wow.
But it looks like they've already selected their teams, so we've got them moving into the actual battle here. So, Nino, 2 Ice Riders. How do you think they play this? What's the play here?
Man, I'm already upset. I gotta watch this Trick Room nonsense. But no, 2 Ice Riders. One's got Pelipper. One's got Smeargle. I mean, we got some Among Us's on here. It's gonna be interesting to see. It's not an exact mirror match, but we do got the good old Choice Scarf Final Gambit coaching on this Annihilate, which has been kind of upticking a little bit on the ladder a little bit. I've thought about adding this to my Kyogre team, so it's going to be interesting, the threat here on the field. It can't be faked out by this instant, and it gets the Defiant boost, so now he's got the choice of whether he wants to just Shadow Claw and actually attack since he's got a boost, or he's just going to take that one-hit KO a Pokemon, or just give Ice Rider his coaching boost as well. So interesting play when you already have the Defiant right off the bat here.
Yeah, this is an opening. I mean, they both came out. I feel like that Annihilate play was really, really good. It kind of gave them that little bit of an edge right now, and they've got to really. I think when you get that edge like this, you got to capitalize on it and take it when you got it. So
yeah,
we'll see what they do.
Calyrex feeling a little pressure a little bit, getting out of there. It's gonna the Instin's gonna stay in, fake out the Ice Rider, but Ice Rider's just gonna sit there, get a +1 boost along with the defensive boost as well. So
this Ice Rider and Annihilate are not I mean, they're scary. I mean, that Urshifu is funny because there's actually 2 coachings on either side of the team as well. That Urshifu has coaching as well.
Point.
So it's a double coaching. This is crazy.
These guys both have only lost 1 time, so that means yesterday they only lost 1 time in Swiss. Getting another coaching off with the Scarf.
Oh.
Here comes, we're going to do a nice little Glacial Lance at +2. We're going to take this Surging Strikes pretty well. Maybe get me a tick in the yellow after this 3rd hit. But I know Instin's going to live, but I don't know if the Ursh is going to live through this one. It's going to be close. So now the taunt comes off. So now, since it's a Scarf set on the Annihilate, it might be forced to switch out here. So since it's locked into
but
coaching.
that Urshifu goes down.
Close combat.
So there's
the
a
single
swap on
move.
the field.
Yep, we settle on 1 Mon. We get the knockout. We get the 1-hit KO. Ding, ding, ding. Where's the pop-up overlay? So now we're gonna focus maybe on the Instant next turn. But we do need to get this Annihilate out of here because it's got to struggle its way out right now. But interesting to see what Arcane, how do you say that? Is going to bring in here next. Arcane. The Ice Rider, maybe Polyper in the back. It might be too early to bring an Ice Rider. We need to get a little pressure here. So we need to get something to kind of give us a little advantage. I wonder if Amoonguss is in the back. That would not be a good thing to bring in right now.
Yeah, and there's that one thing, like you said, that Annihilate really can't do anything right now. So, like, that you've kind of got maybe a half a kind of free turn, at least for half of the field. So, maybe bringing in their own Calyrex will give them a little bit of a boost here as they know that they're possibly going to have a swap-out situation here happening.
Oh, man. We're going for a Protect here, playing the defensive spot. We got to be careful. Oh, we go back on that because we got to be careful not to quick fast on Annihilate, because if we click the attack move, we go straight to struggle. We got to make sure we click Pokemon first. And he does. He gets the swap out, and it looked like he went for a Terra of Fire there.
Yeah, I mean, the Terra Fire makes sense. I don't know what the other Calyrex Ice Rider has with it.
He went back on it. He thought back. We're going to step back, protect. Maybe pull some follow me advantage, but this looks like a free Lance into the Electabuzz. And this should do about maybe 40%. Keep it in the green. This Electabuzz is pretty bulky. Let me see.
Yeah, those Electabuzz are pretty bulky, and that's a 3-hit KO on that one. So that's, I mean, that's a bulky little Electabuzz, and he'll be around for a couple more turns to get some follow me's, possibly some paras. So I mean, that's definitely something annoying you got to watch out for now.
Well, something we got to account for too. The coaching gave him a defensive boost as well, so he also got a +1 from the KO for the close combat. So he's a +3 with a +2 defense with 2 defense mons on the field. So
I think he actually only has 1 defense. When he went and looked at it, I think it's only 1.
Okay, so maybe he has only 1.
So he's just a little bit, but it's still that 1 defense can change a lot of damage.
Yeah. So here's the follow me. So no single target coming in from the Instant on the Lance. Knockoff, it's going to eat that pretty well. It's going to lose its Eviolite. So now the Lance should KO it in this case. Instant's going to go down easily to this close combat. We're going to pick up another +1 boot. We are going to lose a defense and a special
That
defense.
was why he was only at 1 defense. He close combat at the turn before on the Urshifu. So now he's back to even from those coachings.
I love that play there because, the close combat actually isn't taking him too bad in a defensive respect, because now he's neutral on defense. He hasn't taken too much negatives on that one.
Yeah, he's not putting himself in a bad situation. It's always, like you set yourself up to have a kind of a negative move actually not be negative, and that's huge because it does so much damage. So.
Okay, Ice Rider's worst enemy when it sets Trick Room comes on the field now. We have an Amoonguss with Trick Room up. The pressure now is set on on Skrull's end. He has to kind of follow me into this, but we got to remember this Electabuzz Dumps has Vital Spirit. It can't follow me. So, we're basically gonna follow me, get rid of this follow me to Spore, and then I don't know. Are we gonna live this glance on this other Ice Rider?
I don't know if there's a Terra on the other side either as well. I can't remember if they terraed yet. Yep. No, I was gonna say I think it's coming here pretty soon. I think we're gonna start seeing some Terras and stuff.
Fire Terra. So, oh no, it's on the Amoonguss. Here we go.
The Amoonguss, you want water? Yep. So we could last through that Glacial Lance. But that's a +3 Glacial Lance. It's still not gonna feel good. It's not gonna feel good.
There's the follow me to kind of get rid of the spore if it comes out. Let's see if he reads this. He does read the follow me. No reason to waste the spore. Lance comes out. I think the Amoonguss is gonna hold him. And they both hold easily here. Trick Room's reset.
He reset Trick Room's now.
What? Oh, we don't need the spore anymore. Now we Lance again. Oh my gosh. Here we go.
Yeah. So I think that was a read. That was a massive end game read where he was really thinking that he was gonna try to swap the Trick Room, but he did it. And that's one of those things with Trick Room, man. It's always rough when you have Trick Room, the opposing person has Trick Room, because you never know when somebody's gonna click it, and if you make those reads, it can bite you, and that's exactly what happened in that one. It just didn't pan off, and those speed advantages were on the side of Scraw, so.
And that's exactly why we see the forfeit. Right on. No, that's, there we go. I don't know. I think we lived both hits there. I don't even know if we had to make that read or not. But we were on a little bit of a back foot in, but interesting to see how we're going to adapt this game.
So, we had, let's see, so we had Arcane lost the game, so Scraw won it. So with Arcane and his team and his setup, what do you do differently to not have the same outcome in game 1?
I don't think you need Amoonguss. I think that was kind of the issue there. We need a lot for Amoonguss to work and go right here. But if we can get Amoonguss set up where we can put the Ice Hort Rider to sleep, but not with Electabuzz on the field, it's going to be too tough. So I wonder if he's still going to bring Amoonguss this game.
Electabuzz kind of makes Amoonguss not as, like, scary. You know, you've got that follow me, like, you're just really not as worried about it. It gets you an extra turn, and with Amoonguss being weak to Calyrex Ice, you either have to soak that Glacial Lance, or you have to actually burn your Terra. So it's kind of one of those, like, it's a tricky mon to use, and if you don't use it right, you're going to be on the back foot.
I just want to say, Nino is so cool with these shades on.
What? I just came from my walk. I left them on. Alright, here we go. We got the Ensign and Water Ursh coming on the opposing side. And we got Skrull going with the same opener. The mind games that could come down here. And we're still going to take it Intimidate. We're still doubling down. We must not care about it. We just don't mind giving this Annihilate a +1.
Now, I think what's going to happen, I don't think he's going to go with coaching. And that's one of the best things about best of 3 matches is that you always change it up a little bit to mess with your opponent. You don't always do the same play. And so I love that they're not going to try to go for the coaching again, it looked like, and try for something a little bit different. So we'll see if it pans out.
Yeah, I think when you get that boost, I haven't played much Scarf Annihilate, but it's like once you get that boost, I feel like you're not in a pressure anymore to have to use Final Gambit. You're in a pressure to do some damage now with that +1. But not carrying Rage Fist is kind of wild because you could really pick up some hits going off. The call is made, ladies and gentlemen. We have a read being made on the call. Final Gambit being read. The Terra Ghost comes out. Ursh is able to put out this damage on this this Ice Rider with no issues.
Now, okay, so great Terra, but I think you really still have to worry about that Annihilate because now you are Ghost Terra and it's got Shadow Claw and all this other stuff. So like, it's a tricky first turn.
No worries, we're locked in a Final Gambit now. We have to click the opposite slot, and now we're probably going to a Pelipper that probably has Sash, which usually does. So it's going to take this Sashed hit and maybe another hit from the Ice Rider. But now Water is up. I think we're going to have enough damage going into this Ice Rider. And the Annihilate is going to go down at the same time because Final Gambit's going to KO itself with all the HP it has available with damage being dealt on the opposing mon.
You are right. That water helped out and will get them the knockout on the Calyrex Ice Rider. So that swap out ended up being huge because you did lose the Ensign.
We are getting the reads down. We used game 1 to see how Skrull plays this game. Game 2, we're doubling down on the reads. Now we've got a, what? We've got a 4v2 right now, so we're in a tough spot in this position. Let's see if we can work our way out of it.
I mean, the Electabuzz is still something you got to break through, and I mean that's a beefy guy.
This game, it's probably going to be a problem in this game, but we got a goated Urshifu on the field with water. We're going to do some good damage on the Electabuzz, even if it follows me. We're both of these, this Pelipper and this Urshifu should outspeed both things on the field. Maybe not the Electabuzz. I've seen some fast ones before, but this turn is going to be an interesting one. If we make the right call here, I think Arcane can make the game end and go to game 3.
Absolutely. I think I'm trying to see if that Pelipper has wide guard, and it does. If that Pelipper hits wide guard this turn, it should be over at this point because they did hit Hyper Voice.
Yeah, we're thinking we're reading on the Hyper Voice here. Maybe we don't need to. I mean, maybe we just got to get some damage out and just set up for the back to win.
Oh, the feint though. Don't even need to. That was clutch.
Yeah, we try to read the wide guard. It looks like there was no read done on the wide guard. It looks like we just go damage into Urshifu. This is probably a Hyper Voice, like you said, which is going to be able to target a Ghostmon due to Ursaluna's ability. So it's going down. So we're going to equal the board down to 2-2 right now.
Yep, you are right. It goes down, and that Blood Moon though is below 50. So depending on what kind of potential spread moves that we're gonna have to be dealing with, they do still have Blood Moon up. So I mean that massive damage is still there and ready to be sent out. It's just is Blood Moon gonna be faster than Calyrex?
We're definitely going to see the restricted coming out. What partner are we going to see? We're going to see our good old buddy Incineroar. So we do have fake out pressure on the field. There is protects on both sides. Only on the Ice Rider has protect. The Electabuzz does not have a protect. So we probably could easily either read the fake out or read the protect on the Ursaring and just double on the Electabuzz here. Let's see how Arcane plays this turn. He does. He plays it safe. He keeps him honest. He fakes out in that return, locks it down, and it looks like we had a taunt come up. So let's see if Arcane did attempt the Trick Room. I mean, when you see an opposing taunt on the opposite side, I think you're locked into attack here, and you are. You get some good damage out. Probably another. I think it hasn't gotten any boost yet, so I think it's about the same damage it was last time.
35, 40. Yeah. That was a good. Actually, it was a high roll. I feel like.
A little roll this time around. So all right, now no fake out. We do outspeed the Ursaluna. So let's see. We get the knockoff here. Eviolite's down. So Glacial Lance will KO the Electabuzz. Is it enough to kill the Ursaluna? Of course. We're going to game 3.
Absolutely will. Game 3. Gotta love it. So Arcane did exactly that. He came through, changed up his gameplay. Scraw did not though. So Scraw had the same opening, but he did do something a little bit differently, but it just didn't pan out because that Ghost Terra, that turn 1 really set the entire rest of that game. So that was good. Good absolute read on that turn 1.
So no Among Us. I think Arcane might stay with the same game plan. So as a player, of course, when you're going to game 3, you're saying, okay, I played differently. I lost game 1. I played game 2 great. I countered them well. Now in game 3, how did they counter how they beat me in game 2? And I think that's the question that has to be answered right now with these opening turns. So I think Scrawl, I don't think Annihilate. I think Annihilate's still good, but we have to get this turn 1 read right. I mean, and you can see how much it cost us in game 2. When we went in on Final Gambit, even with the Defiant boost, we had a Defiant boost, we still went all in on Final Gambit, and we wanted to get rid of the Ursh. Of course, Arcane read into that, Terragos read that turn wet, and then it read the next turn correctly. So it looks like we are still bringing the Annihilate. So we just have to play this turn 1 a little differently and not get so far behind. And I mean, he wasn't so far behind in the turn 2. But the next read on turn 2 that Arcane made, it was really hard to come back from. So it's interesting to see how we're going to play this differently. And you said this earlier in the last game, Michael, like with the Annihilate Bond here in the field, there's a lot of choices.
Yeah, because and that was that one thing with that Urshifu. It does have Ghost Terra, and that was probably, he's like, if I lose my Urshifu, I'm in a really bad spot. So we protected it. And that protection paid out really, really well. So I'm curious if he's going to change around, knowing that Ghost Terra is right there, and it's going to be the exact same openings for game 3.
Let's go. All right, mind games are going crazy right now. So, I mean, Michael, we're 100% sure we're not going to Ghost Terra this turn in game 3, or are we? Do we double down? Do we know you're going to think I'm not going to Ghost Terra, or do we just go all in and just replay the same exact way? These game 3s are insane. Let's see how this pans out.
I think with what happened those last 2 games, Scraw saw that this opening from Arcane didn't do enough damage to necessarily knock out either the Calyrex or that. So I think this swap in and trying to get some damage out of that incense slot was really, really good. And he did exactly that.
Yep.
Let's go.
Yep.
So
Yep.
Arcane did not change his gameplay from game 2, but Scraw did.
Yep.
Let's see how it pans out here on this as this turn plays out.
We get the fake out again on the. I think we've done it all teams. We go to close combat. Right,
Knocks him out.
Incense
We got a
down.
KO.
So now, are we going to Surging Strike into that Ice Rider slot again? With the Electabuzz there, we have the risk of... wait, we're not going to get parried. We're just going to tank it. But no, we just tank it correctly because we have Vital Spirit, and we're going to be at least under, about 75%.
No, he hit the Elekid.
I know.
That was Elekid.
Yeah, he's done. I thought for sure we'd go for the Annihilate different, but no, we went the same route, the same exact play this turn. We're not changing it up. We're not changing the game plan. We're trying to adapt exactly by this game 1. So we're going to have to adapt a little differently here. We lost our instant already.
So now with this turn, obviously the Annihilate is locked into close combat. Unfortunately, close combat isn't going to be doing... or was it Final Gambit? No, it was. I was going to say, I'm pretty sure it was close combat. It's not going to do a whole lot to either of these Pokemon. Obviously, Urshifu's immune and the Pelipper's flying, so like it's not going to do a lot, but you still do have the Electabuzz who can do a little bit of extra. So I'm curious how this will play out.
It looks like he went ahead and closed combat to... I mean, we're getting rid of the Focus Sash. We'll take that as a turn.
That's huge.
If we can get rid of the Focus Sash, we can get somewhat ahead this turn. But with following me, we're going to take no damage on the Annihilate. We're going to just... But if Squirrel reads this correctly, where we target... The Ursh targets the Annihilate, we'll be able to get a nice Bolt Switch out to rotate out. So let's see how we get here. But... man, with that defense down, we'll get a nice Surging Strike and Annihilate. No, we ended up targeting the Aleki. No Volt Switch is happening. The damage is... the Reigns are being blessed by Urshifu this time around.
Yeah, Urshifu's staying on the field. He's staying healthy, and that is something that if you're Scraw, you gotta start being worried about. Because as you can see, when you're in rain, Pokemon starts doing a lot more damage, especially with the Pelipper.
It's not even Life Orb! It's not even Life Orb! What is this skibbity toilet mon doing?
It's the craziest thing about Pelipper, man. Nobody ever expects that Pokemon to pull out a nasty Weather Ball or Hurricane, and those things hurt. As you can see, just absolutely one-hit KO'd. And obviously, it did have its special defense down from that close combat, where it took a little bit extra. I mean, it's defense, so that just doesn't matter. But even so, it's just rough to have to take, man. Is that not business, especially defense?
You'll have to give me a second. I'm putting Showdown in the builder right now. Hold on.
Let's go.
All right. I mean, we're kind of turning to the same situation we were in last game. We're just minusing an instant. That's all. So we're in a 3v2 situation. Last game we were in the 2v4 situation. So let's see. We're just got to adapt to the turns a little bit. We are going to Terra Normal again here and probably go with the Hyper Voice. We got to remember though, Pelipper does have that Weather Ball. Or that Wide Guard, but then again, Electabuzz is not able to feint it out here. So we don't go for Wide Guard, we're going for damage. We might be doubling this Ice Horse here.
Yeah, and that's the thing. The Scraw does not have the speed advantage. Pelipper and Urshifu are both going to go first, and so I think that was the main reason why they Terra'd the Blood Moon, so that it didn't get knocked out. But the double down takes up the Calyrex, which is really that big threat.
All right, well, man, we'll get a little chip here, but this 1v3.
Oh, the crit! Oh, they're both down! Oh, my!
Hold on. Hold your horses. We don't have a Wide Guard that comes up. We're just surging. It looks like in the back, all we have is a...
and I believe there's still an Electabuzz. So it's a Calyrex Electabuzz, but we did also see earlier on that the Calyrex is faster. So it's gonna be that.
Is down. This is it.
This
is Blood Moon versus
Glacial Lance versus Blood Moon.
It's not enough.
Oh, it lived.
No, we live.
Will the Blood Moon do it? It absolutely lives. Oh
Easy,
my.
Easy.
Oh! Oh, so close! Oh my! Oh!
You're done. What a game.
Oh.
This is single targets enough.
That end game. I love that end game came down to two massive Blood Moon versus Glacial Lance. Who's gonna knock out? Oh, that was amazing. What a way to end game 3. It came down to two singular Pokemon in a game 3, and that is peak VGC. Fantastic job to both of them for adjustments.
I don't think
that was great.
We know the crit may not mattered last turn, but still, wow, the Live in the Blood Moon, that was, I thought it would take it a little better. It was pretty close. We're wondering on the roll of that. I'm sure Graw's hitting the calculator right now, checking that out, but we know these Ice Riders now are made really high in special defense now. So it's like, I think they got to be calced. They know Blood Moon's out there. They're calcing for Water Spouts. They're calcing for Barrages. No, well, crazy end game. Rarely came down to the last Pokemons, and well played out to both players. And let's see if we can get our winner or our players in here and see what's going on. Will, help me out here.
Yeah, I'm DMing right now.
Will!
What'd you think? Did you have a chance to watch that, Busy Man? That was a good one.
That set was insane. And coming down to seeing if he got a high roll, honestly, if he got a high roll on that Blood Moon, I think he would have
we
won.
wonder, was it the highest? Were we at peak? Were we at peak performance?
I don't know.
I mean, that was red. That was, I mean, that's 20 HP like level. Like that's really, really, really close.
Oh man.
Woo! That is crazy.
No, but hats off to Scrub. Same lead all 3 games. I mean, it almost panned out. I love love how we held with the game plan. We stuck. We knew we can adapt to the situation, and it seems like we almost did. We almost pulled it through. It was a really close one. I'm not sure what turn may have gone a little differently that would have helped us out, but it was literally one choice that could have made the difference.
Well, we have our gamers in here, Arcane and Scrawl. Let's get their opinions. And guys, y'all played a heck of a game.
Gentlemen, yeah, thanks. That was amazing, guys. Let's get off to the roll on that. Are we calced to always live a Blood Moon hyper or Terra Normal, or is that one a close one?
That is that I do always survive that one. I have a lot of SpDef on this guy.
I know all the ones are really high in special defense now, and it's like that was probably peak roll. But yeah, that was a really good set you guys played. Well played by you, Arcane, with both turns, doubling down on the right turns you needed to, and yeah. Any kind of feedback from the match from your point of view?
The Annihilate is so scary.
Yeah, you bring up a great point. That was kind of the talk of the match. Like, what's the Annihilate gonna do? And you didn't care. Every game, you're like, nah, like I'm gonna make this choice hard for you because you're maybe not want a Final Gambit because I just gave you an Intimidate boost.
Yeah, it's so hard to do it, and also I'm fairly certain that Urshi lives the Shadow Claw even if it's +1 and Terra Ghost because you have
wow.
HP and no attack on it.
Oh man,
it does.
Okay.
Oh wow. Oh man. Yo, I had a question for Scraw really quick. I noticed that in each one of those games you brought the exact same 4 Pokemon. You want to explain that a little bit?
Sure, yeah. So in the way this team, it's pretty linear. In the Cali Ice Mirror specifically, a lot of times what I have to rely on is for most Cali. It wasn't true here, which was a big part of what gave me a lot of trouble. For a lot of the Cali Ice teams, both my Ursaluna and my Calyrex do tend to outspeed opposing Calyrex Ice Rider, and because of that, I don't really want to set up Trick Room, which makes the slow Smeargle pretty awkward in this matchup. And the Farigiraf doesn't really offer much board presence here. Like I can stop, a fake out or 2, but Arcane is really incentivized not to bring Rillaboom. So if I'm going to bring Farigiraf to stop one move on one Pokemon, that's not really worthwhile.
Facts, yeah, no, definitely, that makes sense. Because I was sitting here, I was wondering, I was like, he really he's really sticking true to this, and it worked out really well in a couple of those games. I mean, the Pokemon definitely felt like they were fitting. It's cool to hear like your thought process and why you didn't bring those 2 other Pokemon that were on your team. So that's awesome, man.
One little quick one on the game one that was the shocker was the Trick Room read on the last turn, right? Arcane, were we reading a Trick Room there for sure, or was that a misclick Joy-Con drift?
I was reading Follow Me Trick Room because I was like, this is the only way I could probably win this game is if he makes a mistake and tries to undo my Trick Room here.
But you took those 2 hits pretty well. But I guess we understand the position. You were kind of on the back foot, and that was kind of the best way to kind of make that read. And that's why we have to make those reads to kind of get back into the position of the game. So yeah, no, I think that we just want to make sure we understood that correctly.
Yeah. I realized that's why I did not bring the Among Us in the second 2 games.
Yeah, I called you out on that. I was like, he knows that Among Us is not for this game. It's just too hard on the Trick Room. It's too hard to get ahead. So, and then yeah, you didn't bring it both games. And I mean, and Scrawl pointed out too, not bringing the Rillaboom was a good point. Just not bringing anything weak to ice kind of puts you with some good pressure against him.
I learned this game that I died to +2 close combat. I didn't know that was something that was going to happen. I forgot he was close combat until that happened. But
you'll live a +1, but not the +2, huh?
Yeah, I guess. I think most things.
I think he was +1 turn with that game 3, wasn't he? Or was he +2?
He was +1 to +3 at certain points. So there was a couple boosts that he had.
The +2 close combat on the Calyrex. The Calyrex.
Okay, I see. I got you.
Yep. Yeah, when you got that. Yep.
I didn't know I was getting an O-code by that. I thought I was like, fine. I thought I was in a great position.
Oh, well done, guys. Yeah, no, any kind of shouts outs, Arcane, before we let you go, and yeah, good luck on your match, man. We'll let you get the final words.
I don't have anything else to say. I hope I can finish this game out.
Man. Well, good luck in top 4. Well fought, Scrawl on your end too, man. Good playing on your end.
Absolutely.
You guys have wonderful records, and keep up the great work on both of your guys' ends.
That was a fantastic set, you guys.
Thanks for having us. Good luck, Arcane.
Yes, thank you. And thank you for having me as well.
All right,
absolutely. Good luck.
That does it for me and Michael, right? Michael, you got any final words before we get the heck out of here?
Man, I don't know. Hey, Will, did you get my DM?
Yes, I will announce it in our finals.
Nice. So we got a surprise coming up the finals from our partners.
What you cooking up there? What you cooking up there with the party hat, sir?
You know, I've really with the whole tournament organization. I remember, Nino, when me and you were kind of, there was only a couple of us. Sword and Shield, we really kind of kicked it off, and it's been really nice seeing all these new people pop up. You've got Tom, you've got Timmy, you've got Will now, there's literally a massive amount of tournament organizers, and it's super cool. Like, I know from my standpoint, I'm sure you, as you're in here helping out, it's been an absolute pleasure to help out and make these things, just elevate them, give our guidance, our experience, and help Will really make this thing just like a really just special event. So I've been really trying my hardest to pull some strings to help out with some stuff that I can provide for Will, and it's been really nice, man. So I'm glad this event's been turning out so well for you. It's a fantastic cause, and you killed it, bro. Keep it up, man.
Honestly, it's a we thing, man. I couldn't do it without y'all, so I really appreciate y'all. Not Himmy, but WD, Nino, y'all are goats, man. Thank y'all so much for all y'all do for the Pokemon community.
Thanks for having us, man. We'll see you on the next one.
Absolutely.
All right.
See you next time, man.
We're going to transition into our top 4 of the StJude VGC Charity Tournament, and this is going to be a big one. We're going to have 4 casters in the voice chat. So we're going to bring Lil Chaos. We're going to bring Himmy Turner. We're going to bring, was it Talon Master J? Yes, it's Talon Master J.
I guess.
Oh, we're in.
We're in.
I'm dragging y'all in. And we got your Chef Master Rich. How's it going, guys?
Sorry, I don't even have my picture on
It's
camera.
all good. It's all good.
Let me see.
It's all good.
Yo,
all right. I'm gonna message Joe and let them know they can start.
Oh, what am I doing?
There you go, Chaos. Hey, there you go. I just saw you. There you go, Chaos.
There we go. Okay, we're here.
There we go.
Hey!
There we go.
Yeah.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I put on the pink dress.
Hey, it's a 4-person caster team today.
The hype is real.
The hype is real. This is gonna be
This is so cool.
So, guys, you guys are casting Joe's match for top 4. This is a quality player, quality match. And Arcane VGC is no scrub either. He's been shredding it through top 16 the whole tournament. So you guys are in for a treat, man.
I cannot wait. This is insane. We went from 100 and like almost like 250 players down to just 4 players.
Like how insane.
So we had 188 at the start of the tournament, and we're down to 4. And one of our top 4 missed a round.
Oh my god!
Wait, really?
Wait, one of our top 4 missed a round?
Joe missed round 1.
Oh,
yes,
wow.
You talking about yesterday?
Oh yeah, he registered later.
He's making up for it, trying to get himself into the finals.
Oh my goodness.
He has literally not lost a single round, with the exception of the round that he lost because he couldn't check in.
But he actually did lose a game. Yes, I think he lost round 7 or 8.
I guess it was something with Limitless, I think, is what happened, because he was saying like he had checked in, but it said that he didn't check in, which was weird.
He's kind of playing an off-meta team as well. Groudon.
I love off-meta teams. That's what I'm talking about.
Those are the best.
Groudon catches a lot of hate, and people say that he's pretty mid. So
you know what?
It's me.
Cool.
I'm the hater. I'm not gonna lie.
It's kind of cool to see.
You know what? Chef approves. We're gonna see Joe's team here. It is going to be once again Groudon, Raging Bolt, Venusaur, Porygon 2, Indeedee, and Incineroar. And Arcane side. Well, who would like to say his team?
I will say Arcane's team. Arcane's team is running Ice Rider Calyrex, Pelipper, Incineroar, Amoonguss, Rillaboom, and Rapid Strike Urshifu. And I just looked this up, guys. The top 4 players for our St. Jude tournament, they each have one of the 4 restricted Pokemon that made top 4 at the 2022 World Championships.
Wow. That's insane.
Yes, I remember that back
then.
Yeah, I remember Groudon was the best restricted back in 2022 because of the Dynamax. Also, G-Max Venusaur as well. And I remember in 2016, Mega Venusaur and Groudon, Primal Groudon, would be monstrous together.
Oh, actually sickening. Actually sickening.
Oh, did Joe?
Hold on.
Is Joe covering his moves? Yeah, he's covering his. You're not missing anything. Okay, he picked his moves. Indeed, he swaps.
Okay, lit.
In comes probably Groudon. Yep, Groudon comes in.
To be the Groudon, so the sun is going to be set up against these
Jesus.
Calyrex goes for the
protect. Yeah.
Oh, this is insane. Sleep Powder into the Calyrex. I wonder what does this Incineroar decide to do?
Taunt. Okay, we got a taunt on this Venusaur, so now it cannot go for Sleep Powder again.
It cannot go for Sleep Powder, but I mean, also I think Joe does have options. He does have that option of Grass Knot and Sludge Bomb, but also that Groudon does have an option for Precipice Blades. Oh man, I remember yesterday that Joe had a hard time against a Pelipper, but now we're versing a Cali Ice. And it is actually going to be the Pelipper coming in, so it's going to be another Rain and Sun matchup.
And out comes that drizzle from Kyogre Light, as people like to call
Kyogre Light's insane work.
Joe trying to stay on top of the weather war here.
Yeah.
Calling the Pelipper, swapping, getting his Groudon out so he can reset the sun next turn.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't know what, if this Venusaur can hold a Glacial Lance, but I think we're going to see a Terra. It's going to be Terra on that Venusaur. It's going to be Terra Water.
Water, okay, yeah.
Well, what did he decide to do? I feel it's going to be a Grass Knot or a Sludge Bomb, so we're going to see what's going to go on here. He cannot go for Sleep Powder, he cannot go for Protect. Sludge Bomb goes into the Pelipper! Wow, that does a lot. Glacial Lance.
No poison also, but look at that. That would have been super effective normally on the Venusaur, but it is not very effective as Venusaur has Terrassos in the Terra Water. But now this Incineroar on Joe's side, it does have the potential for a maybe like a Will-O-Wisp or a Parting Shot, even though the Parting Shot won't matter. But more importantly, Joe cannot knock off that Clear Amulet.
Absolutely, he cannot. The Pelipper decided to switch out, right? Trying to preserve the rain for another day. Incineroar does come back in now. So switching Intimidates after Intimidate. So I wonder what's going to be going on here. That Calyrex could set up Trick Room, or it could go for another Glacial Lance, or potentially try to go for the high horsepower. As we are going
we're gonna see the Terra. Which one are we getting?
Where we gonna get?
Terra
Fire.
All right.
So
Will-O-Wisp officially will fail if that was the move that Joe clicked. But this Calyrex goes for the Venusaur goes for Sludge Bomb first.
Poison, no poison,
Here's
but
the parting shot.
in the right slot. Ooh, we are going to probably going to bring back the Sun, but it also depends on who he has in the back. Joe's doing a really good job of maneuvering his weather right now.
And we see in comes the Dawn.
Here comes the Groudon.
But what's important here is that even though the
Glacial Lance is going to go in.
Oh my.
Oh.
That did some damage.
That is
now there's fake out pressure too.
Exactly. Incineroar is exactly going to can go for another fake out.
Oh, how sweet. Stop this.
Oh, how sweet. That's so nice. That's so nice. That's so sweet.
Give her a hug for me. She seems nice.
Same here. Same here. Same here.
Oh.
Uh-oh. But Calyrex does go for the Protect. Sludge Bomb's gonna go into the Incineroar. That's gonna do a sizable amount of damage. No fake out. But the knockout's gonna make sure it survives for another turn by knocking out that Covert Cloak. Precipice Blades is gonna go in. It's gonna go into the Protect, but also it's gonna hit the Incineroar for a lot of damage, and that's a knockout. Incineroar is done. No more Intimidates and no more fake out.
Yep, Joe's in a really good spot here. Now that Calyrex is threatened by Precipice Blades as well.
Taunt does wear off. That's going to be interesting as Pelipper comes in, sending the rain again. So, as of right now, rain is set up, but Joe is in a good position because the Incineroar is out. No more fake out, no more parting shots. As the Weather Ball into the Venusaur is going to pick it up, going to get the knockout.
Bye, Venusaur.
Exactly, bye, Venusaur. Go back in the Pokeball. But I wonder what this Groudon decided to do. He's going for another Precipice Blades. And it is going to connect onto that Calyrex. It's not enough for the knockout.
Oh.
What?
Calyrex going for the Trick Room.
And there's a Trick Room.
And there it is.
Oh,
now this Groudon is in Trick Room. The Pelipper, I believe Pelipper is slower than Groudon naturally, so if something like a Glacial Lance comes out, it's super effective, but if Joe can Terrasilize, so Glacial Lance will come out that's super effective. And in comes this Indeedee here.
I think here you have to protect to go for the Trick Room reverse here.
That is honestly very interesting right now. It's going to be going either for the Trick Room reverse or better yet, trying to go for a lot of damage. But the question is all about speed. That Pelipper is still on the field. And the last time I remember, right, I remember in my last commentating session, that you have to actually try to prioritize getting rid of the other rain of Pelipper, because otherwise you're just going to be going in a war of rain and sun. But Groudon is going to switch out.
And in comes the Incineroar once again, trying to maybe call a Glacial Lance play here. On the side of Arcane is Joe, but this Intimidate does come out on the Pelipper. Not really effective. In comes the Glacial Lance. How much damage is it going to do on Indeedee?
Oh, that does 50%.
Yeah, that's insane.
It's going to go up and get the knockout on that Calyrex.
Let's go.
That's important to get rid of the Calyrex there, because by virtue of it terrasilizing the Terra Fire, it is neutral to the Psychic.
Exactly. Weather Ball is going to come out, rain boosted into the Indeedee, and it's going to get the knockout. Wow.
Joe now has fake out pressure for next turn as well, since he swapped in the Incin.
And that's a good point that Hemi noted. The Pelipper is a flying type Pokemon, and by virtue of it being flying type, ladies and gentlemen, it is immune to the priority from fake out.
That is definitely true, and especially now, the sun is back up, so Weather Ball is just going to be now a fire type move. And so far now, an Amoonguss is going to be really threatened by either a Flare Blitz or a Heat Crash. but I wonder what Joe's going to be doing here. He has to like prioritize getting rid of that Pelipper because the Amoonguss can just sit there for a long time and it cannot do anything. But Pelipper, yeah, gotta go.
Pelipper definitely has to go here. And
the Pollenpuff!
Not even going for the fake out into the Pelipper potentially. A
Flare Blitz.
Into the Pelipper. How
Sun boosted.
Ooh, that's good damage in the Pelipper.
Damage.
Pelipper ate that.
Go for
He
Heat Crash.
Doesn't pick up.
Oh! And the helmet!
Weather Ball is going to go off, and it's going
Crazy.
to pick up the knockout on the ground.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Crazy.
No.
Wow.
That Amoonguss lived a Heat Crash from a Pokemon that weighs over, that actually is a ton. It was literally 2,000 pounds.
Right.
Oh my goodness. And the one thing is Joe does not have, he only has Flare Blades. He does not have knockoff onto like on his Incineroar. So Flare Blades in the stun, yeah, it's gonna do a sizable amount of damage. But the thing is that like Pelipper, it's a water type as well. It's gonna say hit me with Flare Blitz and I'm not gonna cry.
I mean, we saw how much it took from the Flare Blitz. The real question is, so we know that Amoonguss is slower, but the safety goggles are there. I think Pelipper has to risk a 50% Hurricane here.
Oh, that's gonna be the riskiest thing ever. Pollenpuff does go off into that Pelipper, gonna heal it back up again. But I wonder what is going to happen here. Flare Blitz is going to go off, and that's going to go back down to where the health was earlier. But what did he decide to do? It is going to be the Weather Ball. So not really risking misses.
I think that's a good play. You don't miss.
A lot.
Guaranteed damage.
Trick Room is still up also, guys. Just to remember, Trick Room is still up.
Yep.
It is
so
still
the
up.
Pelipper can get healed back up one more time.
Yep.
And there's the Pollenpuff once again from the Amoonguss into the Pelipper. And so Joe could have theoretically went into the Amoonguss to remove it on that last turn, but he would have taken the Rocky Helmet damage no matter what, on top of the recoil.
Buddy.
And out comes the Weather Ball here, and Incineroar goes down, and Arcane wins game 1.
That's a GG.
Absolutely.
If you take care of the Amoonguss the turn before, then it's just a Pelipper versus the Incin, and then you win.
Yeah.
Here, Joe.
What I really enjoyed about this match, though, is that I just felt like everyone was it was super aggro. Like, there was no time to wait. Everybody knew what they had going on, so it was like everyone's educated. So they knew what they could do. They knew the risk that they could take, and I'm just super stoked to see something like this, because like usually we can have a little bit of a stall battle, especially seeing Amoonguss on the field sometimes. So I'm just happy that we were just ready to see blow for blow. Like, it was actually pretty lit.
Absolutely, and especially by looking at this matchup right now, Joe's got to really go back to the drawing board and be like, okay, there's a Pelipper. I need to get rid of that Pelipper, and that's how like that matchup has to go into like in his favor. But when we saw like that Precipice Blades, I would say like one bulk up, and he obviously would have actually gotten himself like in a good position to like like sweep under Trick Room, but also by surviving it. But also, what a good call from Arcane to go for the Glacial Lance, calling that switch out from the Groudon coming in and taking a lot of damage. That was very, very, very hectic also. But indeed, he also came in doing a little bit of damage with Psychic, but also under Trick Room, it could have had an opportunity to reverse it. But yeah, Joe has to go back to the drawing board and actually like see how he can actually get some KOs.
Exactly right, Rich. But we're going to get into game 2 here with Arcane 1 game away from the finals. But can Joe Ugarte force a game number 3?
I need him to force a game 3. We have no other players that can share the screen.
No. We were suggesting going on Showdown, and they share their screen.
Apparently, it's showing that Arcane is streaming right now, so we do have a
we do have
no matter what, we have a finals POV here.
Oh my
no matter
goodness,
what.
guys. This is very, very insane right now. We are in game 2 of the top 4. The winner will move on to the finals, but unfortunately the loser will, I have to say, be out of the tournament. Pelipper is going to come in. Rain is going to be set up now, as Calyrex is just going to be sitting there, and Venusaur and Groudon. But what did, we see a Terrestrialization coming in.
Starting early.
Yeah, we have early Terra. It's going to be Groudon.
Ooh, Groudon Terrestrializing this time. Now going to Terra Fire. ensuring that the Glacial Lances are not very effective, but turning on super effectiveness from
Nice.
high horsepower.
Sleep Powder connects on
Connected!
Hit!
That's absolutely massive now. The biggest weapon on Arcane's team now out of commission, at least for one turn.
Precipice Blades!
Oh, no,
Precipice Blades miss!
Oh my god,
Wow.
that is insane! Right now, like, by looking at this game, like, okay, you have some option. You could risk putting that Pelipper to sleep and set up a bulk up, or you switch out into another one that's going to be taking a very massive Weather Ball in the rain. And the thing is, Groudon is now a fire type, and he already used up his Terra, as we are going to see the switch out into the... Oh, what is this? We have the
Indeedee coming back out onto the field here. So now the battlefield gets weird by virtue of that Psychic Terrain, and the Psychic Steed
comes
activated
up.
on the Indeedee, +1 special defense.
Let's go.
The
Hurricane!
Guaranteed
How much is it
hit
gonna
with
do?
the Hurricane.
Oh my god. Oh.
Survives, goes to Sludge Bomb.
It's going to go for a lot of damage!
Calyrex wakes up.
One turn wake! One turn wake up!
A one turn wake up is insane. I ask for those all the time and I don't get them.
Calyrex wakes up after only one turn of sleep. It didn't even sleep for like 5 seconds. Pelipper is going to switch out. Trick Room is now set up on the field. Incineroar is going to come in. But the thing is, it cannot go for Fake Out on these two mons because, well, one thing is Covert Cloak and the Psychic Terrain is up. But the only thing you got to do now is just like reverse the Trick Room, as we're going to see the Protect on the Venusaur. And what we decide to do, Glacial Lance from Calyrex.
Yep.
Oh, this is gonna be.
Glacial Lances is gonna do well over 50% on the Indeedee.
That does a lot of damage. Trick
And
Room
the Trick Room.
reverses.
There it is.
Trick Room has been reversed, so now it comes down to can Sleep Powder hit again at 75% accurate?
Oh, this is gonna be so insane. If you could put that Calyrex back to sleep, you're gonna be in a great position to go again and bring in that Groudon to come on in and go for a lot of damage. As we are gonna see Groudon come back in again. It is gonna set the sun. It is Terrifier. Gonna be resisting those Glacial Lances as Protect does go off. I wonder what did this Venusaur decide to do. Sleep Powder is gonna go again into that Calyrex, but what did Incineroar do? Incineroar went for Taunt.
On into
On the Groudon.
Oh,
okay, so this is interesting. Now Groudon can't go for bulk up or protect, but it still has the threat of that Precipice Blades. It just needs to go past 85% accuracy.
What you also have to remember is there is a Pelipper waiting in the back to set up.
We'll probably see Pelipper swapping for some here.
Oh my goodness, this is really insane right now. That Venusaur staring down that Calyrex like, I'm going to put you back to sleep. But the thing is that everyone got to rely on that accuracy of that Sleep Powder. It's a big risk on what's going to be going on here. Right now, I can feel the fire both from Joe and Arcane. It's
I don't even think it's worth the Sleep Powder.
Exactly, as well. Incineroar is going to switch out. And is going to go probably back into that Pelipper.
Let's see him.
Pelipper comes back out onto the field here. It remains to be seen. What did Joe click? As we see the Drizzle activate.
Sleep Powder connect!
It landed.
Oh man, a second.
It connected.
Sleep Powder connects. Oh, and what did you press his blades?
It hits this time. It hits this time.
It's gonna hit the Cali for a little bit of damage. But now here's the mind game. Will Cali wake up again in one turn like it did the last time?
Y'all are risking it for the biscuit, and that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, this is a game of risk. You were in the
yeah, that was very risky play by Joe.
It was.
It was. We see Arcane switch the Pelipper out.
Back into the Incineroar.
What did Joe go for here? Did he go Precipice Blades again?
Or
the
did he go for the
out, but the clear amulet.
Option to reset the weather himself.
So Pelipper is faster than Groudon. That's good information as we do see.
Oh, it's going to be the Indeedee coming back in. As
and
the
Venusaur
goes off. Wow, okay, what are we going to see here?
Oh my god, what?
What? It's gonna wake up again in one turn!
You are kidding me!
This Calyrex doesn't want to take a nap. Indeedee is gonna go back. Indeedee is down. Now it's
Indeedee.
Indeedee is down, but the thing is that the psychic terrain is still up. You could bring in Groudon, but oh my goodness, this is so insane. Will Joe try again to put this Mon to sleep again? But Groudon's gonna come in. Oh my goodness. It's a repeat of like turn 2 or 3.
Exactly.
Calyrex waking up.
This is just absolutely outstanding. This Calyrex, despite being a Psychic and Ice type in its Ice Rider form, it's basically acting like its normal Psychic and Grass type by not wanting to sleep.
It does not want to take a nap. Bakeout gonna go into the Venusaur.
Yeah.
That's gonna do a lot of damage.
Venusaur, you did your job. That's what I'm talking about. Oh my god.
It's gonna go off, and that should be enough to get the knockout on the Incineroar.
But you also note that Arcane did not go for Protect on that Calyrex. It
Oh,
was
my horsepower gonna go up. Not enough for the knockout.
Oh, it survives. But more importantly here, that Pelipper has a chance to come back in. So it begs the question about whether or not Joe could have gone for something like a Heat Crash, a Terrafire Sun boosted Heat Crash into that Calyrex and gotten a knockout.
I think risking the Precipice Blades is honestly really is like a good call, because the thing is that like that Pelipper could come in and like Joe could go and like Arcane could go for Protect. So I understand like why like the risk of a Precipice Blades, because it's a mind game. You don't know if that Incineroar is going to switch out or it's going to stay in. But I agree with that play of Precipice Blades. But now it is now down to that Groudon still staying alive as Pelipper does go for the Protect.
Let's go. I don't know. This is scary. I think Pelly's gonna win I think Pelly can do this.
Double Protect to get that fake out pressure on turn 1. And now the Pelipper will be the fastest Pokemon on the field, so it really will be a mind game potentially with that Incineroar, because Incineroar on Joe's side, the only attacking move it has is that Flare Blitz, but which, while super effective, is going to take a 50% damage reduction due to this rain.
Yeah, absolutely. Unless somehow he gets a crit, but the Weather Ball is going to connect onto that Incineroar. That is a one-hit knockout.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, I think Pelipper takes it. Let's go. This is crazy.
Precipice Blades is going to go off, and it's going to hit into that Calyrex. Not enough for the knockout as well.
The Glacial Lance comes out on this Groudon, and it's enough to knock it out. And Arcane VGC with a 2-0 victory.
Wow.
Advance to the finals. And
Crazy.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is Generation 8. It is Sword and Shield all over again, because in the finals, it's Ice Rider versus Zacian.
Rain wins the Weather Wars.
It is. Honestly, it definitely is. Going back to that matchup, that was a very insane call. It actually brought me back to 2022 of Weather, of Cali, of Groudon. Those were very, very, very popular meta picks. But looking at this as well, like Venusaur with the Groudon was able to do so much. But that sleep turn, though, was so unlucky. A one-turn wake. If there was only a few more turns left, that'd be it.
Twice,
He hit the sleep powder both times, but he couldn't get the 3-turn sleep, or even 2-turn sleep for that matter.
Right.
He honestly couldn't get it, but that was so close.
You get the things that go your way sometimes, and
exactly.
It was Arcane's day, you know.
Absolutely.
That was so close, and especially when it came down to just the sleep turns, but also of those of the rain, of the sun, what's gonna go faster, what's gonna go slower. You know, it's all depending on what can outspeed that Pelipper or what can you do under Trick Room. I give props to Joe for trying on that one, but it looks like a very, very interesting matchup. But it was very difficult, honestly, to try to get in a good position to get sun back up when rain keeps switching in and outspeeding.
Yep.
Right.
And that's how it is with the Weather Wars. It's essentially weather, terrain. If you win that war, it's usually difficult for your opponent to counter it if you just play to your outs and your strengths and your win cons. And as we saw with Arcane, he was able to play through psychic terrain with his Calyrex Ice Rider, just hitting those Glacial Lances. And shoutouts to Joe on his Venusaur, living a hurricane from a Pelipper that guaranteed hit.
Yeah.
So much. Oh my god. What do you guys have to say for Himmy Chaos? This is honestly very interesting matchups too.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure to get to watch Joe play. That's for sure. It's fun to watch. That's a similar team to what he won his Portland Regional with last year.
Yeah, I remember the Sun with
the sleep
jump
powder. Yep.
Yeah,
and so that's just something that he's comfortable with, and it's cool to see.
Heck yeah.
Fun set.
Yeah, I love unconventional teams. Like, that's kind of how I play. So, like, you know, even just seeing you being able to bring that to life and just having that knowledge on deck, you know, is always going to benefit you. But, you know, knowing whether you can take a risk or not are also going to be, you know, super crucial to this game at any point. So, honestly, it was dope to see. Like, it wasn't a stall match. Like, it was aggro. Like, I'm on you. Like, it was all predictions. Like, it really was just awesome to see. So,
it was really great. Honestly, cool. Actually, what Himi said, it brought back to his Portland team of Jump Love using Sleep Powder, but guess what? We got Venusaur now using Sleep Powder.
Yeah, and it's something that, like, you're going to take gambles. You hope that you get the 3-turn sleeps, but today Joe got a little unlucky with the RNG, and that's just how this game goes.
RNG.
RNG, yeah.
That's just how this game goes.
Yeah, it does. Will, what do you think of this? That 2 1-turn sleeps, man. What do you
The 2 1-turn sleeps, just like Himi said, man. Like, RNG goes your way sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't. But like, I think he got the character plot. He got the plot armor, bro. Like, this man Arcane. First of all, he had to beat Joe. Then, you know, Joe beat Azulite. Arcane had to beat Scrawl. Scrawl was going crazy in his own right too. Like, honestly, Arcane, such a gamer, bro. Such a gamer.
This was absolutely crazy, and the fact that Arcane did something that no other trainer could do in this tournament, beat Joe Ugarte without requiring a round loss. Like, that's just absolutely crazy to think about. That Joe missed round 1, made it to top 4 without dropping a single set.
I think he did lose once. But
he
yeah.
did lose once.
I watched him lose yesterday. But yeah, the sentiment is there. Yeah, he gamed insanely this weekend, and I mean, that's why he's one of the best players in the world. We'll see it time and time again from him. And it's cool to see him also, you know, get challenged by somebody that, you know, showed up and came to play.
Heck yeah.
Everyone did a great job of this, but we also now have our 2 finalists for the finals. It is going to be Arcane versus Slushy 2K, and it's going to be a very, very awesome finals.
And it feels like we're back in Gen 8 again. Ice Rider versus Zacian. Like, honestly, Rich, you're a Worlds competitor right now. I gotta ask you, with a month and a half before Worlds, did you expect Zacian to be doing as well as it is right now?
Honestly, when I heard the buff of Zacian, I thought it was going to fall off the radar. But you know what I always say? No mon should fall off the radar. Everyone should have a chance to use something in the meta, no matter what. It doesn't matter if they're good, it doesn't matter if they're bad. Use them no matter what. If you like to use them, then use them. You know, but Zacian, I honestly would not mind using Zacian. It's actually a really great mon. It's very strong, and you could pair it all up with, like, Stellar Terra, Fairy Terra, Water Terra, make it very defensive. You know, in a way, like, it's a good, like, concept as well, you know, like. And also, I say this to everyone, like, use a mon that makes you happy, you know, like, use the Pokemon that, like, really, like get you going, you know, like, use Kyurem White, use Ho-Oh, use Lugia, use Zacian, you know, like, use Necrozma, use, like Solgaleo. I'm telling everyone this because it's like, give these guys a chance. Show them off at Worlds. Show them what they could do.
Spoken like a true Worlds competitor right there, right?
Yeah. What's the highest result for Zacian this year? Was it Slushy? So we're gonna get to see.
Yeah, it was definitely. And also, I know there was in, like, some regionals that Zacian did well in some regionals, placing, I think, in top 16 or top 8, I believe, using like a hyper offense with using Stellar Terra Zacian, trying to get a lot of KOs. And that's the best thing, you know. Incineroar's back, but Zacian's not scared. He can go for a lot of KOs.
As long as it's not burned by Will-O-Wisp.
Oh my god, as long as it's not burnt by Will. Like, I saw Terra Dragon and I was like, I like that. Terra Dragon, everyone needs to know that it resists the Fire, Water, Grass core, so it's honestly really good. Like, oh, you see Urshifu Rapid in the rain trying to hit me? It's gonna do, like, nothing.
So I have to ask you guys, because we won't be able to talk to you until the turn is over. I need your picks. who's winning? Zacian, Cali Ice. I'll ask you first, Chaos.
Cali Ice.
All right, we got a Cali Ice believer. Hemi Turner, the Himster.
I gotta go with Zacian just because my boy Slushy won a Burnt Glizzy tour, so we're going with him.
Talon J.
I mean, I'm a judge for Hemi. I gotta stick with my king. I'm going with Zacian.
All right, lastly, the chef that be cooking it up, Chef Rich.
If Kiram White's in the finals, I'll vote for that. But I'm also gonna say
that's crazy.
But I'm gonna have to say Zacian because I see Cali Ice a lot. But Cali Ice did prove itself to be great. But I want Zacian to get a little redemption this round. I wanted to actually say it didn't get its shot at the World Championship in 2022. But guess what? Now it's gonna get its shot now here in the St. Jude's Charity Tournament. We haven't seen Zacian in years, so now it's it wants to get a redemption.
Heard. Well, casters, I thank you all so much for casting that top 4 match. Incredible set. Shout outs to Joe again. Thank you, Joe, for signing up. Ripping through this tour. I was afraid he was going to be like, no, this tour is free, bro. Honestly. But, he played a great set. Honestly, played great games in Arcanine. He came out the better trainer. And what a great tourney. Thank you all so much for casting. Thank you so much for the great energy. Really appreciate you all as we transition into the finals. We are now going into our finals, and we're going to get our casters for the finals, which should be WD and Nail. And casters that's in here, I thank you all, and I'll see y'all later.
Thank you, Will.
Thanks, man.
So much.
All right, guys, as we proceed, we're going to have Arcanine versus Slushy for finals. We have Ice Rider. We have Ice Rider versus Zacian. Make your predictions in the chat. If we can get a mod to make a poll, that would be great. But, guys, I'm super excited. I hope you guys are super excited. Let me know in the chat what you're thinking is going to win this St. Jude VGC Charity Tournament. We're here. Last match of the tournament. Are you guys excited? Are you guys not entertained? Can you guys not believe the greatness that is this tournament? Oh man, we're gonna go ahead and get our casters in here. We're gonna go ahead and get Big Slim. We're gonna go ahead and get Nail. Slim, how's it going?
I'm doing all right. I've got a new hat. I'm ready to go. Time, bro.
It is time. Honestly, I was telling the other casters, bro, this is an unreal tourney. I can't believe it. It's almost over. It's already over.
Oh, bro, you put on an amazing event, and the trainers have been even better. They have showcased a master class of just what this game's all about when it comes to competition and of course the audience with their charity and donations and all that. It's just been fantastic. The fact that we're almost at 4K when our goal has been, they keep moving the goalposts, and it just shows the generosity and the amazingness of the community. So it's been a fantastic event.
It looks like we are already in the match. We're going to go ahead and start without Nail. I didn't think they were ready, but we'll go ahead and get it started for you guys. We are
well, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be me and you, Will.
It's going to be me and you, brother. Hey, we here.
Exactly. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the finals of your St. Jude VGC Championship Tournament. Now, of course, we did know Big Mike, of course, our defending champion, not here anymore, but we're going to have a new one crowned today. It is Incineroar and Urshifu versus Urshifu and Rillaboom, a classic VGC staple of all the Pokemon you need to see here. Fire, water, grass. This is what the meta is all about right here.
Absolutely. You have fake out pressure from the Incineroar. You have fake out pressure from Rillaboom. But Rillaboom could be cheeky and go for a Woodhammer if it thinks that the Urshifu is going to stay in. But I think Urshifu here just U-turns, and we see a fake out on the other Urshifu on the other side against Arcane.
Yeah. I'm interested to see kind of what goes here, because honestly, this is just a turn where you just potentially see a lot of pivoting here. Fake out, not really useful here because you could potentially take some damage. So honestly, I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe some double U-turns here easily just to reposition it. Once Cali Ice does get into position, then definitely changes the dynamic here. As you do see actually a fake out go into the opposing Urshifu, and this could potentially be a Surging Strike but it's a close combat instead. So going to on the offensive here, but very interesting take because now Instant can just swap back in. You can potentially threaten the Urshifu now with any kind of grass move because you are -1 in defense. So honestly, very, very passive turn on one side, but ended up being kind of on the up end just because now offensively you can put on a lot of pressure.
I think that Incineroar's Intimidate really played a big difference because I think that would have been a 2-hit KO without the Intimidate. So truthfully, we have, again, there's going to be a lot of pivoting. I wouldn't be surprised if the Urshifu just swaps up because his special defense and defense has been lowered. But what it swaps into is the real question.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is going to be an interesting spot. I mean, I do think you could potentially put on some pressure here, but there's no way this Urshifu, normally game one, you like to kind of take your time and see how things go, but Urshifu does actually retreat, so hopefully we see maybe a potential reposition as Zacian finally hits the field, and it will have that Interpret Sword ability, which now has been changed from prior gen, where now once it's on the field, it gets the +1, but if it ever retreats and goes back, it will not. It will just be a neutral. It's close combat
going into Zacian being neutral.
Yeah, just because it is that part fairy typing. So really well done there going on the offensive and just faking out the Rilla, knowing, hey, I have a free turn here, and Instant just in the back paying dividends can come in at any time.
Now, I like that play with pivoting Zacian right there. It's all about board state, and Zacian knew they can get in without being faked out. You can get in for free, possibly even get an SD up, but I don't think Zacian wants to waste it. Terra right here, I believe it's Terra Stellar. I'm going to check right now, but I think this is a good position for Zacian. You have to bring in Incineroar right here to try to mitigate this Zacian.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Urshifu just kind of, both Urshifus actually being the pivotal ones doing a lot of damage here, opting for CCs in both slots. So kind of interested to see how this kind of plays out, because now Instant, I think, has been the one looming in the back that can do a lot. Cali Ice just kind of waiting for its time, as you do see him come out, and it is the one, the only Instant, of course, ready to just raw XD, put everybody down to -1. Zacian will go down to neutral, but still can do a lot of damage. His dog has a lot of bite. And Zacian actually retreats, so no longer will that Interpret Sword activate next time it comes out. Be mindful of that, everyone. And Victory comes out, and it is the Urshifu, of course, ready in a high horsepower, making an excellent read and doing a ton of damage. That must be a critical hit.
That it is, and then that is 2 Intimidate drops on that Rillaboom, by the way. It hasn't swapped out once.
Yeah, that's a huge critical hit there, because you should have took negligible amount of damage, and now all of a sudden you're kind of in a rough spot. You do have Fake Out active this turn, but really unfortunate for that crit to come in here, as potentially Calyrex has to come in here, because now, just because of that crit, you do have to kind of amp up the pressure amount you need. So you're probably going to have to set up Trick Room, probably have to get up some Glacial Lances, because you don't have the flexibility anymore with that critical hit.
Now, I want to say Slushy does have Aqua Jet. It is not Choice Scarf. It can use the tech as well. Truthfully, I don't know if Aqua Jet gives any net positive for Slushy right here, because you just get a KO, sure, but your Rillaboom is Terra Ground, so Terraring doesn't do anything here, so Rilla probably might switch out here.
Yeah, definitely, I wouldn't be surprised, but you could opt for just continue just, because Rilla's not really adding any value. It is a weakness, so you could just potentially just keep it here, but we do see it retreat here, and potentially Stars comes out, which we'll have to understand who that is, and it is the Umbreon.
Umbreon made finals!
So we do know this is Slushy, has been known from the top 4 in LA. Slushy was absolutely dominant with that Umbreon, just putting a lot of foul play pressure. It's really good against both horses, so this is a perfect time for it to shine as it comes in here. So now this is kind of an interesting spot, because it almost forces the Terra, which is great, but also a burden as well. And Umbreon kind of sitting here to stay. There's nothing that really affects it too much.
Even if that Calyrex does Terra, if that Calyrex gets any type of chilling nay boost, that foul play does not care. Foul play is going to hurt a lot. And it has Yawn for support to make you swap out if you get your boost. It has time to shut everything down that you have from your support Pokemon, and Helping Hand to boost your attacking mons like Urshifu. I think Umbreon is a perfect fit for this team for Slushy.
Yeah, absolutely. I can definitely see why you just kind of wanted to wait and try to get as much information as possible, because this Umbreon, if you would have got it out here sooner, potentially you could have reassessed how you needed to go, but this unfortunately is a little bit of a tough go, as Urshifu does take the place, not opting to take. We do see Aqua Jet go into that slot, is able to pick up a KO, and this is huge because now you get foul play that goes into that slot. Rilla could come in, but Umbreon really isn't going anywhere, as Foul Play is going to just keep doing consistent amount of damage to no matter what comes here, even if it's not very effective, because it is based off the opponent's attack stack.
Listen, Umbreon says, hey, I don't care. I'm going to Foul Play you, and there's nothing you can do about it. I want to see what you can do. I'm going to make you do whatever you can, but just know, I have Foul Play.
This is an interesting spot, though, just because now Fake Out is active. So Close Combat will be able to potentially pick up, or at least a double tap from the Rilla, and Urshifu could potentially pick up here. So a little bit of mind games need to be played here. We all know Zacian's in the back. You could potentially take damage if it is a Wood Hammer or High Horsepower, or even just a Close Combat. So you have to be very, very careful for Slushy what you want to switch in here. As you do see, Urshifu take a back seat a little bit, and Paranoid comes in, and is the Rilla can probably take whatever moves wants to happen here. But we do see the Terra here. This potentially could be into that Umbreon, would be huge.
Yes, Umbreon, Terra Water, but I'm not sure if Arcane has his Rillaboom on the field. Let's see if there was a play for that. Yes, he does have his Rillaboom, but Fake Out just goes in, so pretty smart. But Foul Play goes into the Rillaboom, giving it a, is that what, 25% damage? Meanwhile, Close Combat not going to be super effective because of the Terra Water.
Yeah, this is an interesting spot now because of the Terra Water. If it was a double up instead of a Fake Out, this Umbreon potentially could have been gone, because Close Combat, maybe Wood Hammer would have cleared this, but now you're kind of in a weird spot where it's like you have to get faked out, you potentially take another more Foul Play damage. You don't really have great switch-ins unless you call the slot correctly to get in your Calyrex Ice Rider for free, but also Trick Room turns are ticking down, so this is a really huge problem.
Honestly, if you are Arcanine, you gotta kind of feel like you're not having your foot on the pedal right here. You might be taking a back seat as a Fake Out comes into the Calyrex, not affecting the Calyrex because it just swaps in, but Foul Play goes into the Urshifu, and that does so much.
Yeah, huge lift because of the -1, but able to get another Close Combat off, not able to pick up the KO, but you just continuing to need more and more chip damage. This is exactly what you needed. You still have your Terra available, which is great, because now you can potentially go for Glacial Lance. You should be able to pick up the Umbreon, swap out into Rilla, and then potentially have Fake Out active next turn. So there's a lot of options you have here. So honestly, that was probably the best of what could have happened that turn.
I wonder if the Calyrex just goes for, it does, it just goes for Glacial. I wonder if it picks up the Umbreon, because now you get the Foul Play trouble out, and you're able to just freely Glacial Lance, and you shouldn't have a problem.
Yeah, exactly. So this is going to be pretty interesting. Foul Play should be the one going first, just based on how Ev's in training and IVs, but I would assume Foul Play will go first. You Glacial Lance, you pick a potential double KO here, but it's going to be interesting because do you call the Rilla switching out not wanting to take the Glacial Lance here? Because if you do call that, you could go for a CC into the Rillaboom slot and potentially pick up a double KO regardless, because, you know, you're not going to take as much damage as we shoot Glacial Lance pop off. And, oh, absolutely amazing. Foul Play doesn't go first, so Calyrex is slower under Trick Room. Fantastic move here. Now you get to get off free damage here, and potentially you can pivot next turn, but the one thing is you cannot Terra because it is that Terra Fire, and you don't want to Terra Fire in front of an Urshifu. It almost picks up a double KO.
This is
just
the
so
Urshifu
close.
who believed. He's living on a hope and a prayer. I don't know if you guys know Wipe Me Down, but he's like all gas tank on E, but everything on me. Wipe me down because I'm doing Close Combats. And what I liked about it being under Trick Room is it's slow damage. It's slow, consistent damage as well. Meanwhile, the Rillaboom comes back in. We have Calyrex with Chilling Neigh boosted Glacial Lance. I don't think nobody wants to take this right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, Calyrex is such a dominant position. And the one thing that you have to remember, Rillaboom is in the back. So once Urshifu goes down, which is free damage, you get Fake Out next turn, and you could potentially go for Trick Room, and you can Fake Out. And Zacian is not on the field. That's the one thing that threatens Calyrex the most here. So really good position and primed for a really good endgame right now, already being at +1.
I will say the poll has been done in the chat, and chat has Slushy2K being our second annual St. Jude VGC Charity Champion. But let's see if Slushy can hold up on that end.
Yeah, definitely going to be a very interesting position. As we see Zacian just hard switching out here, trying to potentially read the, hey, you're going to protect for the fake out. Aquajet comes in. This is going to be a huge turn because now the Urshifu is down. You can potentially get free Glacial Lance damage here. You should pick up the Urshifu. I wonder how much damage is going to do to Zacian. Ooh, significant amount. But now, key thing, chat. Whose fake out is faster between the Rillabooms? That's what's really going to decide how this game goes. As we see Calyrex going to +2. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Terra is still available. So you can Terra out of your weakness to Zacian.
Yes, I was going to say, he still has his Terra. All you have to do is Terra Fire. I don't even think you care to even get your fake out. You can protect. I don't think that Zacian even KOs Rillaboom. You just protect your oh, he's just going to go for it. He's a madman. Oh my gosh. Oh!
This is going to be very interesting. Because there's really nothing really stopping you from doing this. You saved your Terra. You played marvelously to get to this point. Urshifu is what you needed to get out of the way. And Umbreon was what you needed to get out of the way. Both are gone. Now, I mean, this Calyrex is ready to go. +2, Glacial Lance. Doesn't matter what's in front of it. We do know Interpretor didn't activate because it already activated earlier, so it's only neutral amount of damage.
Rillaboom does have high horsepower, but it just fakes out.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to trade fake outs here. Honestly, great play there, but still, you're in a really tough spot because even if you say protect your Calyrex, I don't think Rillaboom gets KO'd here. You could potentially go for Woodhammer damage and Grassy Glide the turn after if you don't pick up the Zacian. So I think Calyrex Ice Rider actually is in a prime position to win this match. And even with the grassy terrain gone, I don't know if there's enough damage to really be able to pick up this Ice Rider as we see Glacial Lance being the move of choice here.
Rillaboom does have high horsepower. I'm not sure if even if the Zacian and Rillaboom does target into the Zacian, there goes Zacian, Behemoth Blade.
How much does this do?
It tickles the Calyrex.
Oh, not even close.
High horsepower comes out.
Shouldn't even get close to KO. No. Not even close. Ladies and gentlemen, here comes the Woodhammer just to ensure the KO. And baby, let the horses come home. Glacial Lance is going to pick up an easy double KO as we take game 1.
Honestly, unreal set. It looks like, honestly, Slushy may have had a better matchup on paper, but you never count out a horse when it's horsing around. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, it's too many things to kind of think of. When you look at the team on paper, you're just like, okay, there's 2 things I have to get rid of. I have to check the Umbreon. I have to check the Zacian. Once you kind of did those, I mean, the close combats were fantastic just to get that amount of chip. And then under Trick Room, able to clear out no more foul play damage. You kind of really just kind of paved the way very easily. I think the one thing about how this game was played which really made the difference is preserving the Terra. That was the one clear thing that was needed here because you couldn't Terra in front of Urshifu once it was gone. But preserving the Terra to the end game, Urshifu not able to do enough damage. Neither can Zacian. Marvelously played game 1.
Now, what does Arcane have to do to ensure this game 2 win to be the StJude VGC Charity Champion for 2024?
To be honest, I think you don't really change up too much. I think there is a couple turns you could clean up a little bit, but honestly, these are a key 4. And the one thing I think you also have to take into account, right? If you're Slushy, one of those things that you don't really have a check for is Amoonguss. So you got to make sure, hey, I have just enough. I can potentially bring the same 4, but just play a little differently. But just in case, I don't think actually, as good as Umbreon is, it didn't feel like it did too much. It felt sometimes more of dead weight because once Trick Room got up, it couldn't really do what it wanted to do.
It wasn't even faster than the Calyrex in Trick Room.
Exactly. And this is one of those key things. You try to make sure you're min speed so you can foul play under, but since you're not, I don't know if you necessarily bring it, or maybe if you do, you started off maybe a little earlier to just continually press on some more damage here. As you see the leads come out, it is going to be the Urshifu and the Rilla. So same lead. Hey, listen, both trainers said if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Instant comes out, it is -2. This actually might even play in the favor because remember, last game that Rilla was -2 and got a crit. So and still won. So right now I think you're in a fabulous position.
All right, we are in game 2 of the StJude VGC Charity Championships Finals. We have Incineroar Urshifu for Arcane. We have Urshifu Rillaboom for Slushy. And we see that they're thinking about Fake Out, but also a Flare Blitz, it looks like.
Yeah. This is going to be kind of interesting because
U-turn, rather.
you kind of know how the last turns went game 1. So do you continue to be aggressive? Is he fake out being traded here, so opting to potentially maybe get rid of the instant for early, but a U-turn comes out doing significant amount, over half to that Rillaboom, which was a key factor in how this matchup was played. So the question is it going to be Calyrex or is it going to be Rilla? It kind of depends on where you want to take the damage. No matter what, if it is Surging Strikes or Close Combat, you're going to be able to take it, but how comfortably do you want to take the damage?
I think that, honestly, Slushy, because they faked out the Rillaboom. They faked out the Incineroar. Incineroar was pivotal for game 1, so I wouldn't be surprised if we just take out the Incineroar right now. But the truth is, even with the Surging Strikes, does it cake? Oh, no, that's it. That's it.
Yeah, absolutely. I figured if you're gonna attack the Incin for a fake out, then that's probably your move of choice there. And honestly, you know, you do lose your Incin rather early, but it's not the end of the world per se, because you still do have good tools with just Rillaboom and, you know, Ice Horse alone. Just because as long as you have fake out to slow down Zacian when it does come in, you're in a pretty decent spot. And honestly, maybe going for a read here. Now, if this read goes off, this is actually going to be pretty huge.
Now, Slushy's Rillaboom is Terra Ground. I think Ground is just neutral into Ground. But if they are calling that Zacian will come in, this will be a big read.
Yeah, absolutely. You get to get a significant amount of damage and just to kind of put the pressure on Zacian, which, you know, potentially can just switch in here thinking, oh, there's nothing you can really do to hit me. You want to set up Trick Room. You want to click Glacial Lance. So if this read goes through, it will be a really, really good one. But we have to wait see. As we do see a switch. Now the question is it Umbreon or is it the Zacian? Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Zacian, so absolutely kills it on the read there. The question is, how much damage will this do to Zacian as it comes in with the Intrepid Sword, giving it a +1 Surging Strikes, going into Calyrex, will do a decent amount of damage, even though it is crit and hits to protect. That's not a bad amount of damage. You kind of like that. You're okay with that. Just above half.
I think that maybe they were trying to see if there was a call for a Terra Fire from the Calyrex, and I don't think Calyrex has a Terra. You know, you're bulky regardless. But I honestly wanted to say this too. I like the adjustment from Slushy, taking out the Incineroar. Someone that's mitigating the damage on your team. You have a lot of heavy hitters. You need the damage. Oh my gosh, Zacian taking over 70% of the
critical hit. That is so huge. Because now your Scarf Urshifu is in. You could potentially just go for Surging Strikes in that slot, pin it down, and click Glacial Lance. There's nothing that wants to swap into a combination of those attacks. Rilla can't do it. Even if you bring in Umbreon, you don't want to consistently take Glacial Lance and Surging Strikes. So an absolutely amazing turn there. The critical hit did help a lot, but this is the game we play. You have to be ready for moves like that.
And Zacian being fast, but not faster than Choice Scarf Urshifu. So all Urshifu has to do is just really go for a Surging Strikes. But we have to also take into account, will Rillaboom swap in for Zacian? I don't know. I think Zacian might be dead weight right here.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, this is an interesting spot. Hovering over the close combat, knowing no matter what wants to switch in, it's going to take neutral and good amount of damage here. I do see close combat, so Zacian does go down. This potentially is just another Surging Strikes into potentially the Calyrex, just trying to opt to just continue to do more damage. But since it is close combat and it is -1, Surging Strikes into the opposing Urshifu wouldn't be bad, but we do see it is into that Calyrex.
Listen, Urshifu is just trying to get it down as much as possible, trying to mitigate the Calyrex. Calyrex is basically down and out. And you have the Rillaboom in the back, but the Rillaboom again is Terra Ground. So Rillaboom is not wanting to take these Glacial Lances. So it's going to be up to this up to this Urshifu to get this Calyrex Ice Rider out of here.
Yeah, this is going to be a very interesting spot because now Calyrex is so low, and you do have to. I think this is actually not a bad spot because you put yourself in such a good position where I think your best play actually, just to Terra out of your weakness to Rillaboom, is to actually Terra your Urshifu because you don't want to take Grassy Glide super effective. You are -1, -2 probably.
-3 maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, you because there should be 2 close combat, so you're -2. So you kind of need to just Terra out of that, and then once you bring in Rilla of your own, you can threaten the opposing Urshifu. So this is a good spot if you are to Terra. Calyrex has done his job getting the critical hit out of the way, really kind of helped how this game is going to go. And now, can the fire and there's no more fire. Can the grass and water take care of the rest is the question.
Either way, if you swap in Rillaboom, it's fine. If you let the Calyrex go down, it's fine. And then we see the Urshifu come back away to go to his trainer. We see the Rillaboom coming back in, trying to take any grass damage or close combat. Actually, Glad does come out like you said, Slim.
Yeah, absolutely. To be expected. Surging Strikes is going into Calyrex, opting, you know what? It's done its job. I mean, if I potentially somehow still get through this turn with it, okay, no problem. But Rilla was what needed to come in here because now you get Fake Out. Now you get Grassy Glide of your own. You mitigate all the drops you had from close combat. Now we're on an even playing field because it's Urshifu versus Urshifu. And honestly, your Urshifu kind of being at full health and having options to whatever move access is necessary can potentially win the game. And you still have Terra available. So both trainers have Terra available. So it's going to be a very, very close end game. As we see, Terrain is about to end fairly soon. So this is going to be a huge turn.
I wouldn't be surprised if Rillaboom swaps back for Slushy. Also, Terra Grass on the Urshifu on the other side. I think we could probably expect a Terra Grass right here. Truthfully, I think this is how you stay in. You Terra Grass, you close combat, possibly the Rillaboom for Arcane. But I think what does Slushy even have in the back? Is it the Umbreon?
I wouldn't be surprised if it's the Umbreon. I think that's always been kind of a game plan versus these Shadow Rider or Ice Rider teams for Slushy. So I wouldn't be surprised, but we're going to find out right here. If close combat is the lock, is going to be huge. It is Stars that is the Umbreon. So if close combat or Surgery Strike is locked into, Umbreon's going to have to do some heavy lifting as we do see the Terra come out here. It is time to Terrasilize. We're going to get rid of our weaknesses. Go into that Ghost typing and see what we can do. But of course, this is Slushy's side opting for Grass to get rid of the weakness to Rillaboom. So honestly, not a bad Terra here, but actually no Terra as we see close combat.
KOs!
Absolutely picks up a huge KO. But this is a very interesting position because now, how do you beat the Grass Terra Rillaboom?
Yes, the Grass Terra Urshifu right here is going to be a big deal as both of them go into close combat.
Oh, this is what I was talking about right here. If you would actually, that is significant damage, by the way. Hold on, that is significant damage because I was thinking if you tear it into your Ghost, close combat, you can be neutral. I mean, not neutral, but immune to it. So having to take that extra damage now, Rilla comes back in. You already have the drops. So, but honestly, I think Rilla could potentially win this game on its own. But the problem is going to be Rilla versus Rilla. Now you have to get significant damage with potentially U-turns or anything else here. So it's going to be an interesting end game.
Slushy doesn't even have a U-turn on its own Rilla. So this is going to be an uphill battle for Slushy in my opinion. But meanwhile, if you're Arcanine, you have to play this correctly. This turn matters. This is
you could win the game right here.
Because you have U-turn on your own Rilla. Slushy's Rillaboom is faster. So it's all about trying to play this as we see the Terra Ghost coming in, predicting the close combat to come out.
Yeah, it is definitely like 100%. I think there was no reason that you don't Terra here. Now is the time. As long as you go first, I think that almost solidifies you win this game just because you have U-turn and your opponent does not. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the turn that could potentially give us a champion and doesn't live the Grassy Glide. Doesn't live the Grassy Glide. So the Terra unfortunately wasted, but it is not the end of the world yet. Give it one chance. Let us see. Now, how much damage does it do? Grassy Glide not able to pick up. That's huge. If it was a Wood Hammer, it might have been able to pick up.
And like we said, Slushy has the U-turn. I think Slushy's betting on that U-turn to beat its win con. You have to try to pick up with U-turn to beat Arcane VGC and make it to game 3. I think that is your win con. I could be wrong. I've been wrong a lot. But wait, am I wrong? Oh, it is Arcane that has the U-turn. My apologies.
Yeah, Arcane definitely, but I'm very surprised Arcane's choosing to not go for the Rillaboom because you're still going to be having to eat Surging Strikes damage. Like, Grassy Glide can only do so much, but if you do pick up this Rillaboom with your U-turn, you can Grassy Glide next turn. You might be able to pick up, but you have to understand Terrain is healing this Urshifu, so we're gonna see if this is gonna be able to pay off. Wood Hammer comes out; it is faster, so no, we are going to a game 3, ladies and gentlemen.
honestly, that was well done. Honestly, Slushy just had to get the damage, the surging strikes, and just picking up with the Rillaboom. Rillaboom was always just going to finish it. Rillaboom was always the win con at the end of the day. But I think you have to know that these past 2 games, Slushy's Rillaboom being faster than your own, that's kind of a problem.
Yeah. But I mean, the one thing is, I do think Slushy, honestly, if we're just going to be completely honest with you, even though didn't get all the turns correctly, saw the end game and know what needed to happen, because Arcane actually had the match kind of in their pocket, but they kind of let it get away from them. They just kind of, the targeting and what moves were quick were very, very key there. I think if you potentially just like went to certain slots and double tapped instead, then I think Rilla would have still actually won you that end game just because you have U-turn and they did not. Mm-hmm. If you just said if you had wood hammered instead of going for Grassy Glide, you pick up the Urshifu, it's Rilla versus Rilla. You can beat the Rilla because U-turn does significantly more damage, and plus when they hit you with wood hammer, they do recoil to themselves. You would have just won the game right there.
Exactly. I'm super excited. What does Slushy have to do to win this all right here?
I think the one thing Slushy has to do, to be honest, I'm fairly surprised that we haven't seen something like, I know it sounds crazy, I'm surprised we haven't seen something like Tornadus. Because Bleak Wind does significant amounts of damage to this team, and we've seen how you got to play. Calyrex is always in the back, and you've always been able to put yourself in a decent position versus the Calyrex positioning-wise. Why not take the gamble into game 3? Because if you hit these Bleak Winds, it does significant amounts to Rilla, does significant amounts to Urshifu, and you kind of continuously get chip on everything else on the team. I know it's a risk, I know it's a gamble, but it could be the one thing you need to kind of break this little stalemate where it's like you've been always on the edge of losing and potentially put you in a winning serve. But instead, we do see a very, very pivotal switch up. Umbreon is in the lead and he catches the Calyrex.
Here we go. We are at game 3 of the StJude VGC Charity Tournament Finals. It is time. Slushy, Arcanine, one of them is going to win and be our champion.
Yeah, absolutely. And this lead has just been a really kind of unfortunate one because now you're forced to potentially just like swap, take some extra chip. Urshifu puts on a lot of pressure. Umbreon puts on a lot of pressure with foul play, and this was really, really well done. Umbreon has been kind of like the whole game plan to lead it now and catch exactly what you need to catch. Fantastic job. And we have to see a pivotal switch in here. And honestly, it's going to be kind of interesting because it's almost like you have to lock yourself into really heavy damaging moves. And Ensign, after this turn, is going to have to swap out, or else Urshifu is going to take that slot for free.
Absolutely. We do see the Calyrex retreating here. And then we have, I believe this is the Urshifu for Arcane. Fake out goes into the Urshifu on the opposing side, but here comes the foul play. Oh, the taunt to the Incineroar.
You know what? That is actually, for Arcane, a really amazing move there because you could have got some chip damage there with foul play, and then close combat potentially could have KO'd the next turn. But all you have to do now is like, cool, you don't want me to parting shot? That's fine. I can just hard swap into my Rilla, which resists, well, Urshifu, not necessarily the foul play. You do take neutral damage if it is close combat, but I think if you're Slushy, I don't think you lock into close combat anymore. I think you potentially U-turn here, or you click Surging Strikes, but very, very good, really good turn, honestly. Pretty neutral, just having to make sure you force the hard switch. As you see, Helping Hand, this potentially could be a close combat, and this may pick up here.
We go.
So Helping Hand goes in, U-turn goes into that slide, doing a nice little chunk of change, but if this is Instant coming back in, this will be -2. And remember, no crits here, so you just have to do a -2 Helping Hand CC damage. Let's see where this goes into.
Imagine CC goes into the Urshifu, which now has the freshly Incineroar with Helping Hand?
Yeah, and I don't know if this is what you necessarily want, but we're going to find out right here.
Surging Strikes!
A move of choice. I don't know if that was just a read, but either way, it would have done significant damage to the Urshifu, but being able to pick up the Ensign, which is very pivotal to how this team operates, that's pretty huge. And right now, Slushy's in the driver's seat.
Big driver's seat. Again, you took out the Incineroar. Did that for game 2. That's what I think was a key to win game 2. And now game 3, you took out Incineroar. You don't have to worry about your damage being negated. Honestly, if Urshifu really wanted to, we could swap out. Urshifu's done his job. You can bring in the Rilla, you can bring in Zacian, but right now, you have to take your time. I think you are in a good seat right now.
I think I get the idea of what's happening here. Thinking of going for coaching and potentially making a switch, but I know it's a little risky, but would have been pretty good. But potentially just, you know what? I know we're on the back foot, but not wanting to just commit that hard. But honestly, it's a tough go, but it could have been an easy commit, but glad it didn't because Urshifu's still standing strong here. Close combat goes into that slot. Will do a significant amount of damage. Doesn't pick up, though, as we do see Umbreon free to do whatever it wants this turn. Will it be a foul play just to get some extra chip? We don't know. Let's find out.
Foul play goes into the Urshifu, doing nice damage.
Yeah, absolutely, because we have to understand that Urshifu is now -1 just because of the close combat. But the good thing is, you do actually lock down that slot with Grassy Glide and Close Combat, so you could double target that slot, and no matter what comes in, you're still going to pick up a KO. But opting to kind of split damage here, so I don't know if I like what potentially could be happening here.
Can Umbreon, if it's Terra Water, can it live Close Combat and U-turn?
This is where things, it's a little dicey. I mean, I think you want to just get rid of the Urshifu, and even if Urshifu switches, you're fine. But opting to go into a close combat into that slot. So let's see what comes in here. It is Paranoid, so this is the Rillaboom, if I'm not mistaken. It is, so it's going to take this close combat. Now the question is,
U-turn.
How much? And we do see a Terra coming out here. So early Terra opting, you know what? I want to continue to do damage here. My Urshifu, I think, has been absolutely pivotal to the Grass Terra. So, hey, we all love a little plant, so why not?
Listen, honestly, this Grass Terra Urshifu did so much as close combat goes into Rillaboom. That is such damage, and honestly, this U-turn might pick up into the Rillaboom. Surging Strikes goes into Urshifu. We know every move, every hit is a critical hit, but will this pick up? Last hit.
I think it
does.
Is able to pick up. You were hoping that maybe potentially you could live on like a little bit, but with the drops, unfortunately, not able to. If we didn't have the drops, probably would have lived. U-turn should pick this up, absolutely. And now you get to pivot back in, bring in Fake Out next turn. But here's the biggest issue. Zacian's in the back. Umbreon's in the back. Umbreon has inner focus, cannot be faked out. So now you're going to potentially have to take full foul play damage. But Calyrex in a really decent position, but Trick Room needs to go up or else Zacian in the back will create huge amounts of problems.
I honestly think this is going to be a big problem. You have to fake out the Urshifu here. You don't care about foul play for one turn. You have to get this Trick Room up. You gotta fake out. You let the foul play come in from the Umbreon, but you get this Trick Room up, the game's yours.
Yeah, absolutely. And Umbreon is now in a prime position. There's no more CC to just kind of take it out. But you can do a lot of good damage just with the fact that you're like, hey, you know what? Guess what I have? Glacial Lance, I have Hour Power, I have Wood Hammer. You have options, but you do need to be very, very careful on how you do this. I think because you can't fake out, you have to Terra so you don't take significant amounts of damage here. It can mitigate just a little bit of that damage. And then you do have to go for Trick Room because there's no other way around this.
No, they faked out the Umbreon, and Umbreon can't be faked out. I think they forgot.
Focus.
I think they forgot. No. And you protected in front of an Urshifu. This could be very bad.
Surging Strikes going to that slot. Will go through Protect. Doesn't matter. So I think maybe this was potentially just a Wood Hammer here into that slot, which would be significant amounts of damage, which is fine. But still, I think Zacian is what you have to worry about. You don't want to give a free switch in here. And then also Urshifu is right there. It's creating an issue.
Exactly, but we see the Yawn going into the Calyrex here, so honestly, this could be fine, but I'm just, this is tough because I think the Umbreon is faster outside of Trick Room, so the Yawn is going to land anyway. You have to find a way to get rid of this Umbreon to get damage off, but...
Yeah, I think you have to Glacial Lance here, but like... The issue is you're going to take significant amounts of damage if this is a foul play. I think that just KOs because we do know under Trick Room, the Calyrex is outspeeding. So outside of Trick Room, then we do know how this kind of works out. So this is going to be really, really tough here. So, I mean, let's wait and find out. You never know. Always give your opponent an opportunity to make a potential mix play here. But right now it's looking like a really uphill battle And honestly, Slushy's in a really, really amazing spot.
I honestly think you would have went for it. We see Helping Hand. I think they're going to go
this is
for
the surging going straight for
insane
it.
surgings right here. Glassy Glide not going to take it out.
And this
Here
should
we
definitely
go.
KO. We see how much it does. Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
We've seen how
man.
much it does before. Now we have the Helping Hand. 17
Oh,
HP.
man.
Ladies and gentlemen, the horse is down. All the bets are off. And there's only
All
one dog left
bets
in this
are
race,
off.
unfortunately. This looks like a absolute W, and looks like we're going to be crowning a new St. Jude's champion. And it is a one dog, one world. It is Urshifu and Stars and Zacian coming through.
Dogs all go to heaven, and also dogs win championships. We have Zacian beating Ice Rider in finals for the St. Jude VGC Charity Tournament. But honestly, let's not count out Rilla. Rilla might be down and out, but we've seen crazier things in VGC.
Hey, if you're gonna have one thing to rely on, I mean, this is not a bad one. The problem is, this is what you're afraid of. Big Zacian comes in, Interpret Sword, gonna be that +1. The blue lipstick ready to take out anybody that's in his path, and even the Umbreon. Not, of course, but you don't have U-Turn's not going to be able to pick up. You don't have Woodhammer with the terrain anymore. Foul Play just to get off some extra chip damage. Significant amount of damage here. And ladies and gentlemen, that all but wraps us up. And we have a new champion, ladies and gentlemen, with a Helping Hand just to add insult to injury. Ladies and gentlemen, on the back of this Behemoth Blade, our new St. Jude champion of 2024.
Congratulations, Slushy2K. You are champion not only of this tournament, but of the children of St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for playing and winning this tournament. And let's give it up to Arcane9. Arcane.
Oh, absolutely.
Arcane
Fantastic
really
man.
played a heck of a set. He put so much effort into winning and playing. But at the end, Slushy2K was the GOAT.
Yeah, absolutely marvelous set. Every bit of it was just absolutely fantastic. They played their highest out. Everybody just really contributed to a fantastic evening or afternoon, excuse me, of amazing trainers, amazing people, and that was just fantastic. And I'm just glad I got to be part of it because we haven't seen Zacian put a fight like this in a while. And you know, Slushy's been around. Slushy's been around throughout the season trying to get that super placement. You know, top 4 at LA, almost broke through to the finals, but was able to come here at St. Jude on the precipice of Worlds, showing that, hey, Zacian is a top dog. Do not forget about it going into Worlds, and just happy to see him being crowned the champion today.
Awesome. Incredible. And honestly, Zacian, I don't think no one, I really don't believe anyone's really counted out Zacian, but truthfully, Zacian showing that, hey, I'm still a top dog out here. My little homie Zamazinsa may be getting the love, but I'm still a top dog, and I deserve respect. We have Arcane in the VC. Arcane, let's get your thoughts, man. First of all, heck of a set. Heck of a run by you in this tournament, man. I just want to say you played your heart out, man. What was your thoughts of that set?
I got a couple too many turns wrong towards the end, and I there's nothing I can really do except for try to play better next time. And he played incredibly.
Yeah, I mean, don't count yourself out. You played incredibly as well. Like, I think, yeah, you're right. A couple turns didn't just go your way, but throughout the matches and sets we've seen, you played exceptionally well, understanding, like, hey, this is a problem, and putting yourself in interesting positions. Because I think most of the time it kind of came down to it just, even though it was a Calyrex versus Zacian, it ended up being just like, okay, whose Urshifu is doing what? It was just a battle of the Urshifus.
Yeah, it was a very much Urshifu heavy game, and it was and the fact that I had no idea, because I have a pretty fast Incineroar and Rillaboom, and his Rillaboom's faster than both of them. So
his Rillaboom was pretty fast. What was your thoughts when you noticed that Rillaboom was pretty fast?
I mean, it makes sense that he's high horsepower, so I was just trying to see if I could get him in a position where it was my Rilla versus his Rilla at the end of the game. Because the only way I could beat the Rilla was making it stay in and punishing it for that. Like, Intimidate cycling it, etc.
So, a question for you. So, game 2, because honestly, I thought you had game 2 in the bag, but you decided to opt for Grassy Glide into the Urshifu.
Yeah, I was supposed to.
U-turned, I think you would have picked up a KO.
I was supposed to U-turn there for sure. I just don't know why. I made a mistake there. I thought that Grassy Glide was going to KO based on the previous damage, and then I didn't, because I thought he was going to have to. Yeah, I thought my Urshi was going to survive the glide, and he'd need to double prio it to kill it, so that I would try to glide and. I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. I made a mistake there. I made a couple too many mistakes, but.
No, don't beat yourself up because you played amazing. Because just knowing that like you can go back and just be like, oh, okay, if I just did this, then this kind of changes how that outcome went. So give yourself all the credit in the world. It's an amazing played set. Because I was wondering, I wonder what the thought process there. Because I was thinking like U-turn just wins this game because they have high horsepower, and I think you can always out damage, and eventually the healing will come into effect where I think you should be able to win. So just wanted to get your thoughts on that to see if it was just like maybe you saw something that we didn't. That's all. But you played amazing. So by all means, once you saw Umbreon, because SlJude's been running this team for quite a while, is there a already predetermined game plan when you see something like this that you go into it with, or did you kind of like have them make things on the fly?
I was trying to, like, the biggest scary part about it is the Terra Water, because Terra Water is a great defensive type into the Cali Ice teams normally. So I was just trying to see if I could fish for as soon as a Terra happened, the game plan becomes a lot more linear of what's happening. The scariest thing about this Umbreon is Helping Hand, because I'm not used to seeing that move on Umbreon. It is a scary thing because as we saw, Mystic surging into Helping Hand surging always KO'd my Calyrex, and there's nothing I can do about it since I'm Terrifier. Yeah. I thought it was a cool tech because Inner Focus has not seen enough play this format, I think.
True. It's kind of one of those things where it's like as soon as you see it, you're like, especially in something like a very fake out heavy meta, you just kind of like, oh, this is kind of an issue, you know? Like Entei was one of those things, early format. It's like, oh, okay, this is annoying, but like you kind of deal with. So really key point there, but just fantastic game finals as well. So what are you looking forward to? Like, how did your season go? And tell us what you're thinking about doing in the future.
My season went pretty well. I got my Worlds invite at NAIC.
Congrats!
Let's go, congrats!
With a very similar team. I changed like 2 spreads and maybe a move from that team to this one. But yeah, I've been running this team for a while, and I don't know if it's going to be the one I bring to Worlds. I'm excited to go to Worlds. I just went to this tournament for some prep, and I thought it'd be fun to, play against the people I've heard the names of before. Joe, Dwobblefett, etc.
Yeah.
I got there was a lot of variance, in a lot of my sets, but also in the restricteds. In day 1, I played 8 different restricteds.
Wow, that's something you don't hear very often. Okay.
In the future, I think I'm probably, at least next season, I don't think I'm going to be playing as much as I did this season, but I think I've had a great time with VGC this season. I've gotten some accomplishments that, I definitely did not expect when I first started playing Pokemon.
Yeah, absolutely. And was this your first complete season actually competing, or have you just kind of dabbled in before?
Yeah, this is my first complete season. Last season I just went to Charlotte. This season I went to a bunch of regionals. I missed points at a couple. It was a bit embarrassing, but
that's part of the game. It happens to us all. Trust me.
I want to make an announcement though with Arcane and Slushy. I guess Slushy. Let me tag them. Hold on. Let's see. Let me at Slushy. Yeah. Join VC, please.
Slushy VGC. 8 restricteds. Wow.
8 different restrictions on day 1.
I did not expect to hear that many, because normally you hear just doubles, 2 Shadow Riders, 2 Ice Riders, 2 something else, but 8 is. That's quite a bit of variance, actually. I wasn't expecting. Was there any one that kind of threw you off a little bit? Like one you really weren't expecting to see?
The one I was not expecting to see was Joe's. I didn't expect to see a Groudon at all. But also the Rayquaza I played round 3.
We saw that as well.
I played 2 of the Weathered Trio from Gen 3, and Kyogre was not one of them. I didn't expect that to be the case.
So you expect to see Kyogre, but to see Ray and to see Dawn, you're just like, what? Okay.
So,
oh my goodness.
I just want to announce that we do have a little thank you for our first and second places of the tourney. So first of all, I personally am going to be sending a St. Jude pin It's going to be like the one I have on right here. So I will be sending a St. Jude pin just like this one as a thank you all for competing in the St. Jude tourney. But also our man WD, he has a partnership with Gaming Glasses, and he got you guys a $50 gift card for 2 Gamer Advantage. So it's really cool. Fire set. Thank you so much, WD, for helping putting that on. Such a great gift for WD. Really amazing dude, man. Truly thankful for his support and just him wanting to support and let this tournament go forward. So not only will you guys be getting St. Jude pins as a thank you for being in the tournament and even going and being finalists, you guys will be coming away with a $50 gift card from Gamer Advantage.
Very nice. Amazing stuff there.
Awesome. So I just wanted to get your opinion overall of the tourney Arcane, and what was your initial thoughts for even wanting to play in the St. Jude VGC tourney?
Well, mostly it was the size of the tournament, and it's always fun, and it's one of the tournaments where it's like, well, now it's more than just playing, because I have, a reason to play I have a benefit I'm doing to someone out there for entering this tournament and paying the money. I think it's a great cause. I'm glad it hit the goal, the donation goal before the tournament even started. Right? That's incredible.
Insane.
Thank you for hosting this.
Insane. Honestly, you the players, the casters, y'all make it happen. I'm just a dude talking to a screen, unless more people are involved, and that's why I love the Pokemon community. Is even Pokemon as a company, they're big on play together or Pokemon together, right? And that's what we did as a community. We came together, made such a huge impact, raising $3,819.20. Almost four. Almost four. So
absolutely amazing.
I'm just truly grateful. So really thankful for you as a community, as a player. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for playing. Thank you so much for having fun too.
And thank you so much for hosting, of course. And I heard that that Slushy might be able to join apparently in a bit, hopefully.
Oh, nice.
I am personally going to head out. Thank you again for hosting.
Later, Arcane, congratulations and well done, man.
Okay. Heard. All right, so I'm gonna get all of our casters in. We're gonna bring all the casters back for a last word. Guys, we did it.
Oh my goodness.
We did it.
Yeah, it's a team effort, a community effort, and really well done from everyone. So it's been amazing. It's been fun, and yeah, man, I got no word to do. I was just happy to be part of it, to be honest with you. So shout out to everybody, staff, TOs, players, everyone, even people who were just sitting here watching at home. It was a fabulous event.
It was honestly amazing.
This was probably one of the best weekends for Pokemon, for charity, and I'm just thrilled that I was able to be a small part of it.
Small part, man. You played a big role, man. All of you guys did, and I don't feel like I am not hearing what you're saying when you guys thank me, but y'all have to understand, I'm one man, and y'all came together and made this happen, and I forever indebted. I love the Pokemon community, man. This is what this is about, man.
Happy to be a part of it, man. It was just shout out to everybody at home, from wherever you're watching, from work, home, wherever. Appreciate y'all for watching, tuning in from everywhere, whether it's watching VODs or donating, doing whatever. Even when people talk about it, like on Twitter or anything or in Discord, y'all are part of it. Y'all are building it. So next year, people already know, hey, man, I'm looking forward to seeing Jude's for next year. So it's just a marvelous event to keep feeding and growing this into something that continues to be such a staple in the community. So looking forward to next year. It's going to be fun.
Awesome. And also, guys, I will be making a survey. Would love for your feedback. What went well, what didn't go well, what could be improved on. So hopefully you guys, have some really good feedback. I would love to hear it. Also, again, I'm excited for next year. I wish I had like be like in AIC. We'll be back at this date next year, but we will be back next year. We will be doing the St. Jude Charity Tournament again next year in 2025. Honestly, super excited to be a part of this. Now, I have a question. I hope this doesn't sound ridiculous.
Sure.
Go
ahead.
If I click finalize bracket, does it finalize the bracket and it just ends the tournament? I just want to make sure.
It ends the tournament, 100%.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
The tournament will be officially over.
Bracket finalized. Okay, and now we end the tournament. All right.
No, it'll restart the Swiss, bro.
Nah, can you imagine?
Oh, man.
Like, what do we have to play?
Everyone will go back to round 1, and you gotta redo all your stuff again.
How crazy would that be?
All right. Not time for that one.
But
No.
this has been really, really fun, and honestly, I gotta give a thank you to Will for letting us all do this. You know, our first time here casting, all of us together, and honestly, we gotta say we're pretty much rock stars when it comes to casting. We're, you know, like we enjoy it so much, and also again, this is for the kids. This is for, you know, the people we love, and you know, we love to give back. That's the best part about us.
Honestly, yes. And it's so funny. Our champion Slushy actually is in a smoke on event right now. So they won a tourney, and then it was like, all right, next event, I'm finna go crazy and something else.
I respect it. The hustle and the grind.
It never ends. It never ends. I love it.
The grind never. I mean,
it's fantastic.
I mean, later today, I have to do a VGC battle where I can't use the top 100 Pokemon.
That's
it never stops. The grind continues. So good luck,
guys. Guys, speaking of Worlds, it's around the corner in about 1 month on August 16th.
Since when is a month around the corner? What happened?
Well, for some players, you know, time flies, Slim. Time flies.
Technically, tomorrow is July 1st, so you know.
Yeah, it is.
Can I get to July? Can I get to July 4th first with the fireworks?
Season
Can we do fireworks first?
Yeah. Season resets tomorrow. We can get championship points starting tomorrow, Slim.
Oh yeah, I'm out. No.
Slim said no. I'm on vacation.
No. Yeah, I'm on. It's my off season. It's my off season. I don't know about y'all go ahead. It's my off season.
But hey, like one of our friends, Slim, like Wiggs just said, because I just saw it on Twitter. Pokemon is greater than fireworks.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, honestly, about that one.
But I'll probably accept that.
Yeah, it's not to me, to y'all. I like to see things sparkle in the sky, and so there we go. Until there's a Pokemon move that sparkles in the sky, nah.
Yo, Blacephalon, bro.
Oh, that no, what? No.
Mind blown.
Well, just like that, my theory is shot down. I forgot Blacephalon was a Pokemon. Well,
literal firework Pokemon, dude. Like, that is it.
It's like called mind blown. It's just like this. It's like.
Yeah,
well, I tried to escape, and somehow they got me back in.
It's Michael Jackson on the 4th of July with a little moonwalk.
Oh Lord! Pikachu fireworks incoming. Oh brother.
So Mr. Host, Mr. St. Jude himself will, by all means, the honors and the last words up to you, because this is your event, this is your baby. So take us out, bro.
Exactly.
Well, I'm honestly just trying to find somebody to raid. Everyone's stopped streaming.
I mean, everyone's kind of off, so that's the thing.
Yeah.
I think the only person that's like doing anything is like
John Zoo's on.
Yeah,
John Zoo's on.
Because I don't know if anybody else is doing like actual
John Zoo
Pokemon
is on. Will, any final words before we all go?
Well, I have to get all serious on y'all now, since y'all want final words.
Hold on, you gotta put yourself on the screen with your nice.
You gotta put yourself on the screen.
I got you.
Come on now.
Listen.
Yeah, there he is.
So, first of all, we are at $3,929.
We're almost at 4K.
We're almost at 4K.
We're almost there.
Yo, insane! Thank you all so much. Well, honestly, guys,
we're $70.80 away from Wide shaving the beard.
Crazy.
Let's go. Wide's gonna shave the beard?
What? I'm sorry. Who the hell said that? What? Where did I sign this paperwork?
I knew I could get him.
Oh my goodness,
Glory.
Listen,
this is just a dream.
It was a dare to dream, wide, dare to dream.
Listen, I just want to tell you all, as a community, this means so much, not to me, but to the children at St. Jude and to the children around the world suffering with life-threatening diseases. You guys are heroes. You guys mean so much to these kids out here. This was impactful. We came together not to just fight each other in a tournament, but we're fighting cancer. We're fighting anything that ends the life of a child in their childhood. Guys, you guys are truly heroes, and honestly, the biggest thing is one day I hope St. Jude goes out of business, because every child will be healed from cancer and other diseases. When that day comes, we've done our job. We are super close to that. We are close to that now than ever, where we're able to have the medicine, the technology to cure every child. So, honestly,
we're up to 3954.
Oh, we did it! Next season! Oh! 4K! Hold on, wait a minute!
There it is. There it is.
Hold on. Wait a minute, guys. Wait, we gotta celebrate for real now. I didn't do this yesterday.
I'm glad I got to be the one to shoot from 3 to finish it. Let me go.
Let's go.
We got the 4K. Let's go.
Oh, guys, we gotta do it. We gotta do it.
Okay.
Shout out to the Play Live team. We got
all right, WD Mike, get the razor.
Hold on.
Don't touch that fabulous beard, please.
Hold on. How do I do this?
Yo, I'll be sleeping on the couch for 2 weeks, my guys.
I'm already sleeping on the couch for 2 weeks, low key.
Because your wife's gonna be like, "What the hell?"
All right, hold on.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Wait a minute.
2 weeks time. Well, Oscar lost the government contract. I'm gonna be completely dead.
All right,
what is
guys.
this, Will? What do we got here?
What is this? What's going on?
We gotta celebrate. We get $4,000 for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
There it
is. Woo! Let's go.
Oh man, this is gonna be horrible to clean up. Oh man,
it's
insane,
worth it,
bro.
It's worth
Insane.
It is really worth it.
I hope somebody clip that moment. Somebody needs to clip that moment, please.
Yo, clip that. Clip that.
You know what? Let me go ahead and do that.
Over the last 2 days, we raised $4,000, and it's all thanks to you guys.
Thank you guys so much. Honestly,
and it's all for a great cause in St. Jude's, guys.
Unreal.
You know the best part about this? Every year, it's gonna get better
and better.
And better, because where were you at last year? So what was the improvement from last year to this year? Like tournament signups, what was your donations? Where did we come from last year to this year, Will?
So we had 80 people signed up last year's tournament. We raised $2,000. We had 4 casters, including myself. We went from 4 casters to 12 casters. We went from 7 rounds to 8 rounds. We went from 70 players to 252 registered. We went from a top 8, which I messed up, to a top 16, which kind of was a top 32, and it was fine. It was flawless, guys. We just are going to improve. We're going to get better and better over the time. And like I told y'all, my vision for this is to have this actual tournament at the campus of St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. I want to have this charity tournament on the campus of St. Jude. It's going to be so beautiful. Their production is going to be way better. It's going to be so good, because I'm going to be able to present this to my job, because I work for St. Jude, and they don't ask me to do this, but I think this is going to be a great way for them to say, oh, you know what? We could do that. We could do that.
Oh, that would be great. Even better if they had championship points to award.
I know. I'm getting close.
One step at a time.
I'm getting close with the.
But
hear me out.
We'll get there.
I'm getting close with the Memphis locals. I told them about the idea. They love the idea. So we can get good with the locals. Get good with St. Jude Play Live team. Come bring them together. Make this a nice thing.
Plus, for guys like Slim, Rich, and I, that's a trip to Memphis.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is.
It hasn't been a competitive thing for Memphis since 2018. I want to say Zachary Thornburg won that regional. So
definitely, we can. Yeah, definitely, and also like catch me also at the St. Jude's. I'll be behind the caster desk. I love being a part of that and shouting out the.
Same here. Like just the emotion of being able to react to the game as it's happening live while giving that analysis. And again, it's for a good cause. More so than anything else, it is for St. Jude, and then selfishly, you know, Will can take us all to a Grizzlies game afterwards. If the Grizzlies, if the Grizzlies actually can do anything. In the
first of all,
the beard's back, bro.
The beard is somewhat back. The beard is Yo, first of all, let's not disrespect my Grizzlies. We got Zach Eddy. Okay. All right. He dropped to 9 somehow, so we're gonna win. We got our big man now. Thank you very much. But no, I would love it. I would love to have you guys in Memphis and host you guys. It's gonna be great. And even if you guys want to come to a local, I'm here. I'm there. But no, I don't even know what to do. I don't know how to end this. But I'm just happy. This is great. This is so great, man. The biggest W ever. Absolutely. Oh, guys, what an event, guys. I'm just mind blown by you guys. So I'm gonna find a way to somehow end this, and I'm gonna raid out to Eeny Meeny Miny Mo, Catch Me by the Toad, and then that man not play no defense. Got it. You gotta get out of here. Someone ban that man. Don't ban him. I'm joking. But
yo, banned on St. Jude Day. That's a rough pill to swallow, my dude.
That's rough. Oh my gosh. All right, I'm gonna raid out though. I'm gonna be in Discord. I'm gonna be in the St. Jude Discord, so we can just be chilling. If you guys want to chill with the casters and I, we're just gonna raid out, guys. Thank you all so much. These VODs will be up. I'm gonna download them. We're gonna make some videos. But thank you guys so much. What a great tourney. What a great day. $4,000 for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. I'm Will. I've been your host with WD, with Talent Master J, with Slim, with Chef Master Rich, with Low Chaos, with Hemi Turner, with Nino Brown. Not Nino Brown. With Nino Poke Bros, with Joe Brown, and Sierra Dunn, and Gerd. We are your casters for the St. Jude VGC Charity Tournament 2024. It's been an honor. Thank you guys so much for supporting the kids of St. Jude. Thank you guys so much for all that you do. And we'll catch you next year. Or if you subscribed and followed, I'll catch you next stream. But until then, peace out from us. Bye-bye.
Love it.
Guys.
Oh my god. Dude, that